Kate Scott.
She probably likes the tuna sandwiches from 7-Eleven.
And Joe Shasky.
I know I'm mediocre, but I'm going to give you the best effort I possibly can.
This is the Morning Roast. Presented by Timeless Coffee on 95.7 The Game.
High and deep into right center field. It is out of here. Into the 4-1-5, and this game is tied. He's got 11.
I don't think I've ever rooted harder in my life for Giants to hit home runs right now, partner, just to hear that call.
Oh, baby, it is good to be back. It's good to have Kite back in the booth, sitting there with Mike Krukow and the Giants hitting home runs. We all love that. Giants beat the Pirates yesterday 6-1 to avoid the sweep. But, man, it's good to be back, man. I've been off for 2 weeks. It's good to see you, Joe Shasky. It's good to see Stephen Langford. And, yeah, it is good to see John Curley. I say that very, very lightly. John Curley, our producer here. But, Shasky, what's up, man? A lot going on.
I'm glad that you wore a regular outfit today because I was assuming that you would show up with the absolute camo fatigues on, Rambo bulletproof vest, ready to go, just firing off takes with the left and the right hand like you're John Rambo in the middle of the jungle.
You know what? I wore a little button up with some sweats. I mean, that's as casual as I'll go. I do want to empty the clip on a few takes. I've been salivating.
Yeah.
I've been trying to stay away from Twitter to save takes and not talk about anything, but a lot went down. First of all, Hunter Pencil's in the studio here in the Morning Roast, so I missed that. I missed Fred Warner signing a massive contract extension.
That's right.
Being locked up with the 49ers. I missed the Dodgers series. That was just iconic last weekend. 3 straight games in the 9th inning where a team scores at least 3 runs. First time that ever happened in the modern era. I mean, I missed a lot, Shasky. And I kind of missed you. I'm not going to lie. I kind of missed you.
Well, I have that kind of a personality. When people aren't around me a lot, they tend to miss my presence. But I got to tell you, I'm looking at these San Francisco Giants, and I can understand people being frustrated this morning as they're driving in. I was at a wedding last night for my cousin Jack, and everybody was talking about the Giants. And it's been a long time. It's been about 2 weeks. Are the Giants for real? Are they going to be a playoff team? We should stop talking about them that way. That's what I'm basically saying. They are a World Series contender. Take the names off the back, okay? Just look at the record. I'm going to tell you third best bullpen ERA in all the baseball. A team that leads the entire country in home runs.
How about that?
I mean, a team that has 2 legit high-end starters.
How about that?
Team that has 3 of their best players down for the count right now, and they're still finding a way to get it done. And I'm looking at Lamont Wade Jr., and to me, he is the microcosm of why you should believe in not just Farhan, but just the organizational philosophy moving forward.
No, you talk about Lamont Wade Jr., 2 home runs yesterday. And I was out there at the yard with a bunch of buddies, and there was a buzz. Like, if people are walking down the street saying, yeah, I don't know about this team, I don't know. Well, you look up now. They're 2 games up on the Dodgers, 3 in the loss column. They're now 6-7 against the Dodgers. Nearly 500 after a slow start. They've won 3 or 4 down at Dodger Stadium in 2 separate 4-game series.
Crazy.
They can play with the Dodgers.
First time they've won down there a series for the whole season since 2014.
Are you serious?
It feels like forever.
It feels like forever. I don't even remember 2014.
That's what I'm saying.
It's always a grind down at Dodger Stadium. But they're going down there to Dodger Stadium winning 3 out of 4. And I know they're 5-5 in their first 10 after the break. But a lot of people have been throwing out 2016, man. Is this like 2016? No. 2016, when the Giants had the best record at the All-Star break, they came out of the blocks and lost 6 straight right away. Swept in San Diego, swept in Fenway Park, lose the first one, and lose the series to the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. They were 2-8 out of in their first 10. You kind of knew with this schedule, going to St. Louis, playing the Dodgers. Okay, you have a letdown against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Gosman, who we'll get to it a little bit, is struggling a little bit over his last 2. But I like where the Giants are at as we head into the trade deadline, which would be Friday at 1 o'clock West Coast time.
I do believe they need a jolt just internally. They need a little something, if you will.
Yep.
I do think that the reinforcements coming back in about 7, 8, 9 days in terms of Longoria and Crawford. That's going to help big time. But Alex Wood yesterday, that performance for him, big step forward, number one, especially because Gosman lost. You're expecting Gosman to kind of get back into form, and a couple bad starts. We can get into him in a little bit. But Alex Wood, 8-0 now following a Giants loss. This guy seems to have figured out not being able to pitch with the spider tack.
Right.
He looked really good yesterday. The way he had low and high pitches outside of the zone, inside, outside. He was really working it. And something that I'm monitoring, they're winning games when Posey sits. And that, to me, is really big. And that's the hallmark of a really deep roster. But Lamont Wade Jr. is the headliner today.
He is the headliner. Kurt Casale, you bring up Posey sitting down. Kurt Casale with a nice RBI single there when the Giants blew that game open in the bottom of the sixth inning. But it's Tyler Wade Jr. because brought this up in the green room when he comes over from Minnesota. Nobody knew who he was. Giants trade their Thor, poor man's Thor, and Sean Henderson.
Yeah.
He goes there. Lamont Wade Jr., nobody really knows anything about him. But the guy's batting 264, which isn't the sexiest average, but we look at all of baseball, there's like 13, 14 dudes batting 300, which is depressing when you look at the numbers there. But Wade Jr., 2 home runs yesterday. He stabilized first base. He's learning how to play first base. This guy's been a revelation at the leadoff spot for the Giants. And we always talk about leadoff. Who's going to bat leadoff? Well, Lamont Wade Jr. sat there in the leadoff spot, and he actually got a hit against the lefty yesterday, Chatsky. Got a hit against the lefty. So what a story this guy's been in, whether it's Darren Ruff, whether it's Yas, now it's Lamont Wade Jr., the month of Lamont Wade Jr.
Yeah, he's hitting the ball really well, but it's his versatility at the plate, but also out in the field, playing a really good first base when he's called upon, and right field. I mean, really nice. What's his face? Yastrzemski needed a day off.
He did.
In my eyes. I do think his at-bats have been better, Yastrzemski's.
Really good.
And I think that the numbers are going to start to uptick, absolutely. But Lamont Wade, man, you talk about the Sean Anderson trade. I didn't even know who this guy was.
No idea.
I never even heard of him. And it lost in kind of the craziness of the night before when they had the Dodger game a couple of nights back, when obviously Darren Ruff check swings and Dave Roberts is going nuts. Lamont Wade Jr. very calmly steps up to the plate. First pitch he sees, drives in a run.
Yep.
And that's kind of been who he is. Very understated, but he's up there ready to swing. Him getting Alex Wood a lead early in the game, I thought was really big for Alex Wood's confidence, because you go down 1-0 early, you're like,
here we go again.
Exactly. Then he steps up, ties the game, third inning, he comes up, hits a home run. There were a couple pivotal moments. Lamont Wade Jr. absolutely is a part of one of them. The other one was Jay Jackson coming in the sixth inning.
Now, who is Jay Jackson?
Right.
Because I came back from during vacation. Jay Jackson comes in. I'm like, who is this dude? Is this Mike Jackson's nephew, the old reliever back in the early 90s? I'm like, who is Jay Jackson? And he's coming in just shutting things down. Yesterday, shut it down, gets off the mound. And that was a really momentum swing where the Giants broke it open. He fist pumps. He gets all fired up. Giants end up scoring 3 that bottom of the 6th, and Wilmer Flores helping out Gordon Yard. What's that? All right, real quick, because I saw this trending on Twitter with you and Covey. And shout out to Covey, man. I heard he held it down for the last 2 weeks.
Covey.
Covey, what's this Billy Flores thing going on? His name is Wilmer.
I know. Basically, he shows up one day, and we're talking, and I go, Wilmer Flores? And he goes, yeah, Billy Flores. And I go, what? And that's what he calls him, Billy Flores. So now we've turned it into like a Pedro Feliz, Pete Happy thing, where now it's Billy Flowers, Wilmer Flores. I don't know why. It's just sticking. I kind of like it.
Is it just Billy just because he wants to call him Billy?
I guess.
No, he's a Latin guy. I don't know any Latin guys named Billy.
Well, I know a couple Guillermos who go by Will.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know if that's where the whole, genesis comes from. But look, hey, Flores steps up there and hits the home run, and then the floodgates open up. But it was after the Jay Jackson double play. Yep. And Jay Jackson, it's interesting. He comes in the St. Louis game. This is a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And it's a Saturday night game, and Dave Fleming is kind of hyping him up about his return back to the Bigs. He's been with the Bigs with 3 different teams, but it's been quite a journey. He went to Japan and whatnot. He's a guy who throws a ton of sliders, but he's got kind of this semi-pause Cueto thing going before he pitches.
Yep.
But unlike Sergio Romo with all the sliders, he actually has the 93, 94-mile-an-hour fastball that he can paint, which looks like 99 because of how filthy the slider is. I don't know what he is in terms of his long-term future, but this dude for right now, he's a funky delivery guy, and I think he's a perfect matchup when you have runners on and you need to get an out. Like, I really like him in that 6th, 7th inning role.
Nah, he's been solid for the Giants. I'm looking at his last five appearances here. You talk about St. Louis, pitches an inning, 2 Ks, goes out to Dodger Stadium. When the Giants won 4-2, he had the inning where he struck out the side. It's like, wait a minute. That's when it kind of opened my eyes. I was like, wait a minute, Jay Jackson. And the bullpen that we talked about for so long,
Unreal.
this beleaguered bullpen. Well, I'm not worried about it anymore because Trevor Rogers is now back in the 8th inning,
Yes,
where he needs to be. Jake McKee, is he a 9th inning guy? We'll see, but you know what? Hasn't given up a run since May 31st, has quieted the critics. He's throwing gas. Hey, he even works in the slider every now and then, Jake McKee, but that fastball is really humming. This bullpen's not a worry, so I asked you here at 616, Shasky, so I've been thinking about this. They're up 2 on the Dodgers, 3 in the loss column. I think they could win the whole damn thing. I really do.
We need to start talking about it that way.
We need to start talking about it that way. I mean, this team, like Milwaukee's good in the Central. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're going to make moves. There's a buzz right now with this Giants team. And some people say, I don't know. Well, I saw 30,000 out there yesterday on a Sunday afternoon, rocking and rolling, believing, saying, hey, the Dodgers are coming to town Tuesday. We got their number. I'm hearing this in the crowd. I'm saying, all right, Giants fans, I know they're out there, and I know they're feeling good right now because of guys like Lamont Wade Jr.
A lot of people keep saying, the Dodgers, they're the best team on paper. Watch the Dodgers play this year. I know their record is really good. They don't have 2 starters. They're out Kershaw, who's one of the most dominant pitchers of the last 10 years. And obviously Trevor Bauer, we don't think he's going to pitch at all again this year.
He's cooked.
Right? Then I look at their everyday lineup. Something's wrong with Bellinger. He looks malnourished. He's swinging super uppercutty right now. He's no patience guy at the plate, batting 150, 160. He's struggling. That bullpen is struggling. And then I look at Seager, been hurt all year, got a contract coming up. I think that's looming over him. Mookie Betts has barely played. Why do we keep thinking that the Dodgers are all of a sudden going to flip the switch and be good? I think they're actually in a snake-bitten World Series hangover season.
It is.
And I know the record is really good, but they're duct taped together at this point.
And you look at the Rockies series, they were struggling against the Colorado Rockies at home. And look, I got to ask you this because Kenley Jansen obviously blew 2 games in a row.
I loved it.
And it was iconic, although Darren Ruff, the 2-0 pitch was not a strike. They gave Jansen a strike in that at-bat. But he didn't check swing. We know he went around.
Yeah,
and
so
Dave
what?
Roberts sprinting. He looked like he could run a 4 or 540 right now. The way he ran out that dugout, threw the hat around.
It was great.
But Jansen, and I was asking my buddies this yesterday at the Giants game. Could you imagine Giants fans booing Rod Beck off the mound after what he's did for the organization? Like, Jansen has been a great Dodger. It's been a great Dodger.
He's 15th all-time in saves.
All right, 15's got over 300, right?
333.
So,
Or maybe it's 334 now, but you get my
he's in
point.
the 300 club.
Yes.
This guy's been dominant this year. He's looked good this year. You boo him off the mound 2 straight nights after this guy's helped you. Like, I know he was struggling last postseason, but he's a great Dodger. Could you imagine Giants fans doing that?
I mean, here's the problem, though, B. Like, we were kind of dissecting this last week. The relationship between fan bases and closers is a very unique fan base, like fandom.
It's a volatile one.
Well, like outside of Mariano Rivera and Trevor Hoffman, I can't think of anybody who was a minted made man who didn't get booed. Right? Those two minted made men. Even Billy Wagner got booed.
Yeah.
All right. I've seen so many closers over the years lose trust in the fan base, and Jansen did blow 3 in a row. Right? So, I'm not here to cape up for Dodger fans, and I do think they were liquored up and feeling themselves. I think they were also booing the circumstances as well, not just Jansen himself.
By the way, shout out to the Giants fans yesterday shutting down the wave at Oracle Park. People were trying to start the wave.
Oh,
Giants
I thought you
fans
were.
like, oh, no, come on, man. I could barely get up out the seat, man. You see the way I've been
Where'd you
eating on
sit?
vacation? We sat down the left field line,
Nice.
section 132, about 15 rows up. Really beautiful. The scoreboard's right there where Lamont Wade Jr. hit that double.
Oh,
Kind
nice.
of bounced right in front of us.
Oh.
We were kind of right there in that section where the ball bounced. So it was really good seats there. Sun was cooking, man. I needed that hat to kind of tilt because
Yeah.
the sun was cooking all over us. You needed the sunblock last night. But really good seats. And yeah, I don't get out of my seat. I can't pull the wave, man. It takes me like 5 seconds to get up now.
So a little birdie texted me Friday night, late Friday night, and then Saturday morning. And This little birdie was hanging out in the 415 section, the newly minted 415 section, which is out there behind, I guess, the...
So wait, that's a real thing.
Yeah, so the 415 section, to me, again, it's tough to pick up. And, Steven, if you want to get in here and if you're a little more knowledgeable than I am, it looks to me kind of like a bar hangout area right near the bullpens. And I thought that this area was designed to kind of heckle the away bullpen.
Right.
And so one of my little birdies who sent me a little text basically said to me, yo, we were heckling the Pirates on Friday night, and the Pirates called for the San Francisco Police Department to kick these guys out. I mean, how soft is that? Are you kidding me?
Wow.
I mean, you can't take a little razzing?
Wow.
I mean, really?
The Pittsburgh Pirates out of all teams.
Yeah, which means it tells me right then and there, Richie Rodriguez, I'm not trying to trade for him.
No, I don't want anything to do with it.
I mean, come on.
Come on, you're getting razzed? The Pittsburgh
swear to
Pirates,
God.
their bullpen is
Shout
getting
out
razzed?
Quadro, yeah.
Wow. So, first of all, the 415 section.
Yeah.
Now we're just getting all kind of swaggy, right? You got the City Connect jerseys, which we knew this would happen. There's a lot of them out there at the yard. A lot of cats rocking the City Connect jerseys. Whether you like it or not, people are rocking them. The orange hats. Now they got the 415 section. So the Giants are really embracing this cultural thing, right?
Yeah.
The 415 section. And you got all these kids from Burlingame and San Jose sitting in the 415. What is this thing? What did I miss for the last 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, you missed all the fun, the shenanigans. I mean, we're in a pennant race, Bonte. Newsflash. Don't know if you know this. And right now, Giants are the best team in baseball based on the standings, but they do need a jolt. And that's something that I do want to talk about today.
Right.
You referenced McGee. You referenced, obviously, Tyler Rogers. I've done a deep dive on the numbers. And if you look at their 8th inning and 9th inning splits, although McGee has been really good in comparison to Tyler Rogers, both of them have a flaw. The 9th inning and against righties, right? The Giants absolutely need to get themselves a closer who can finish games down the stretch, give them options also when guys are tired. But more importantly, they need somebody who can shut down these right-handed arms, right-handed bats, excuse me.
Is it Craig Kimbrell?
Well, Craig Kimbrell hasn't given up a run in the 9th inning all year. And his numbers against right-handed hitters are absolutely incredible, right? So, yeah, I would love to have him. And if you're looking at it from an arms race standpoint, you know, John Curley's suggesting to me in the back, our producer, that, you know, San Diego might make a move for Kimbrell.
Wow.
So they're going to put Melanson, who's leading the league right now in saves, and Craig Kimbrell in the same bullpen.
Wow. 8th, 9th.
You can't allow that to happen.
No, you can't. You can't. And the Padres made a move yesterday for Adam Frazier. He got pulled in the 8th inning, the All-Star for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So now they shore up their middle infield. We know
All-Stars
the Padres are going
a loose
all
term.
Yeah,
There were 41 new All-Stars this year.
I saw the Pirates with like 3 All-Stars. I was like, what's going on
Starting.
here?
They had 2
Terrible.
starters.
I know.
What are we doing?
I saw that. Don't get me started. Although I thought the All-Star games were really – I thought the All-Star game was really, really good. I know we didn't get a chance to discuss that. But I want the Giants – 888-957-9570 because I do want to hear from Giants fans. A lot of Giants fans feeling good this morning. All right, I know you lose the series against the Pittsburgh Pirates, but you got the Dodgers coming in. Everybody gets to take a day off tonight. Hey, you get the night off from Giants baseball. Recharge, rest, and get ready for Walker Buehler and company coming to Oracle Park.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice that I'm going to have a lot of hours tonight to kind of relax because it's going to take like 3 or 4 hours to find wherever the Olympic thing that I want to watch is on television. So I'm going to have to pull out my spreadsheet and maybe my the theorem. I'm going to need all kinds of different things. My microscope, because I cannot find anything. I actually did the old man yesterday. I was in bed. It was like 5:30 in the morning, and I've never done this. I clicked on the little microphone on the remote, and I said, USA Basketball, where the hell is it? And the next thing I know, the Peacock app showed up on my television.
So Baby Chaz was up. She's getting up at like 6 in the morning. Because that's great. Because I think I had a similar story.
Okay.
6 in the morning, I'm up. Baby Chaz is, I'm like, all right, let's go to the living room.
Was she talking about ball movement on Team USA?
She was talking about ISO ball. I was like, let me soothe her by putting on USA Basketball. So I'm going to the channels. There's water polo on.
I know.
There's like, there was something else on.
3-on-3 basketball.
No, it was like ping pong and water polo. So I'm saying, where's the dream team at? Where's this dream team? I had to go to my phone and pull up the NBC app, and I had the free trial for like 30 minutes, but that's all I needed to watch because they blew a game against France. The Olympics got to fix this. Put your marquee sports on the marquee channels. Can we do that, please? I love you, NBC. I got the NBC shirt on right now. It's just hard for us OGs to look for basketball, man. Water polo at 5:30 in the morning. I need basketball. I need hoops.
I have an unpopular opinion on quote-unquote dream team. First off, that is not a dream. It's the nightmare team. And any team with JaVale McGee, once you put JaVale McGee on the roster, my thing is, all right, Colangelo, we need to completely reset how we think about this. I'm telling you, this is my take, and I'll keep it short and sweet. 24 and younger. That's it. I don't want to subject Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard and all of these minted superstars to going out every time Durant has a ball at his ankles. I'm afraid someone's going to blow up his ACL.
By the way, Dame Dollar, man, he is getting hunted on defense. Warrior fan, do you still want Dame Dollar? Because he is getting cooked defensively right now in the Olympics.
And FIBA refs are not the NBA refs.
No, they're not going for the flopping, baby. Hey, it's good to be back. I see you roasters on Twitch. What's happening, man? We're going to have a lot of fun today. We got Dave Fleming at 8 o'clock, and we got our boy Anthony Slater. Anthony Slater at 9:30 to talk about the new Cleveland Guardians and what the heck the Warriors going to do this week, as it is draft week. It is MLB trade deadline. And guess what? We got training camp, Shasky.
Oh, my God.
Football season's right around the corner, and the Bay Nanza is upon us, and it's happening right here on 95.7 The Game. A huge week of events with the NBA draft, MLB trade deadline, 49ers training camp, and the start of NBA free agency, all in a 5-day stretch beginning on Thursday. The action starts now as we keep you up to date with all the latest breaking news, notes, and rumors as our Bay Area teams gear up for championship runs. There's never been a better time to be a Bay Area sports fan, so don't miss a second of the Bay Nanza right here on 95.7 The Game, brought to you by Pacific Catch. What's up, Pacific Catch? Sustainable seafood, West Coast style.
Switching your car insurance to Geico is both easy and
Giants take the lead.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Kate, Vontae, and Shasky.
K-Town, I'm back, baby. It's good to be back on the roast. All the roasters on Twitch, the text line, your phone calls coming up a little later, 888-957-9570. And this Giants team, who we all thought was destined for third or fourth place in the National League West. Well, guess what? They just keep on winning. This Lamont Wade Jr. It's his time to shine, Shasky. In his last 7, he's got 4 home runs. On base percentage, 429. He's batting over 360. This man has 12 home runs and 27 RBIs, but it just goes to show you, the Giants, they've had years where they've had at least 9 players hit 10 home runs. Look at 1952, 1958.
Great year.
Yeah, great, awesome year, right? 1987, which kind of brought back baseball in San Francisco. Chili Davis, Kenny Maldonado, of course, Will Clark, Robbie Thompson. They lose to the Cardinals in the NLCS in the year 2000, where they had at least 9 guys hit 10 home runs. Well, this Giants team, with a bunch of no-namers, even with the names on the back of the jersey, I still don't know who they are.
Yeah.
They've got 8 guys right now with at least 10 home runs. And when Lago comes back, he's going to hit another one. He's got 9 homers right now. Austin Slater has 9 home runs right now. And Steven Dunker, who we thought was out of baseball,
Unreal,
has 7 home runs. So this team is slugging. And Lamont Wade Jr., it was his time yesterday at the yard.
Yeah, I've got some Lamont Wade numbers, but I want to hear from Gabe Kapler right now. Let's get into Gabe's world, if you will.
This Gabe's world.
Yeah, do you miss it?
I do miss it.
Well,
I want to hear from Gabe.
Let's do it right now.
I think we'll go with a little Bohemian Rhapsody, gentlemen. Good call.
When it comes to Gabe Kapler, anything goes.
First of all, I think pressure is always a good thing. The brightest lights can sometimes bring out the best performance.
Now he's been ejected. Kapler's been ejected by Joe West.
Panda costumes and baby giraffes and all of the fans of San Francisco.
Gabe Kapler's 100% right.
Kapler launches one. Fair foul. It's gone! Gabe Kapler has won it!
It's time for Gabe's World.
Gabe's World. And you bringing up that guy, Lamont Wade Jr. And B, I don't know if you're into the OPS, but I'm really starting to love the statistic OPS. It's on base percentage plus slugging. Okay, those are 2 very big numbers for me. Do you get on base? And when you do get on base, how many total bases are you touching? Right? That to me makes a difference. So if you're hitting for a lot of doubles and a lot of home runs and you draw a lot of walks, you're a very efficient player that's extremely beneficial to a lineup. Lamont Wade Jr. is at an OPS of 930, okay? Wow. Anything over 900 is really, really, really good. The Giants have a couple of different guys, Posey, Darren Ruff, Brandon Crawford, and Lamont Wade Jr. Wow. So I know you're looking at the batting average only being 265, but when you look at the on-base plus slugging, but let's hear from Mr. Gabe Kapler on Lamont Wade Jr., the unbelievable gem from the Sean Anderson trade.
Interestingly, these are the swings that we've seen all year. I think you're right, Alex. I think back to spring training, I think we saw the on base coming. We saw the selectiveness. We saw the aggressiveness in zone. I just don't know that we saw as consistent of an A swing as we're seeing now. So you're seeing him get that really good, explosive, athletic swing off several times in each at bat, and it's really independent of pitch type. Breaking balls that move in on him, change-ups, fastballs with velocity, he's hitting all of them. And I think that is probably a byproduct of him being consistently on time and being very confident right now.
So one of the things that we had Hunter Pence in the studio on Friday, and he was kind of breaking down, was how at the forefront and the cutting edge the San Francisco Giants are in terms of how they view your at-bats. And then how do that correlate against whoever the particular starting pitcher is? And does your swing path fit who you're facing today? And then how can we get this pitch simulator to throw similar to however this guy who's starting today is going to throw? I mean, it's next level stuff. We're talking about handing someone who had a flip phone or a rotary phone, here's the iPhone. You're almost, wow, I'm blown away. But you're going to see more Lamont Wade Jr. type coming out of nowhere players because they have never been in a situation like this where they can break down with science and a little bit of art where your swing flaws are and how you can just incrementally change them. And someone like Lamont Wade Jr. is a revelation.
I feel like the guy in the mind blown meme. Who was that with the old white guy with the glasses on? And he's like, if you see me on Twitch, I'm like mind blown because this stuff is mind blowing. And Fleming told us a couple months ago with the pitching machines, how it emulates a sky slider, a guy's cutter, and Donnie Ecker and company. They've got like 4 hitting coaches here. It's unbelievable how the next man up keeps hitting. Like I don't know who these guys are. Darren Ruff, Lamont Wade Jr., and what you just said there, Shasky, and how they're emulating swings and adjusting their swing on the fly on a game-by-game basis. Again, your boy is mind-blown right now.
Well, and here's the thing that I think Kapler deserves some credit, and we'll get to some of the other things that Gabe said, because he said something about Alex Wood I want to talk about. He has really blended the science with the art. You're noticing that he's giving guys opportunities. Lamont Wade Jr. against a lefty. Right. Hey, I'm going to go with you. Dickerson against some lefties. I'm going to give you some starts. They wouldn't have done that last year. It would have been strictly by the numbers, what the spreadsheet said. All right. Now he's kind of blending the two, and that to me is the ultimate test of someone who's dialed in to his squad. Yeah, here's all the data. Here's the advanced numbers. But how's my guy feeling today?
Right.
How does his swing really truly match up against pitcher X on a given day? Yeah, I know the numbers, the raw numbers tell me he doesn't hit lefties. But what about this lefty?
Right.
What about today after this guy needs a day off and that guy needs a day off? And I can't go to this bullpen arm, so let me go to that guy in this situation. Kapler is so dialed in. That's the one thing that I'm so impressed with. He has a feel for his players.
Yeah, and that gets underrated because a lot of credit, again, Farhan Zaidi deserves a lot of credit for all these moves.
Of course.
Bringing in Darren Ruff, bringing in Lamont Wade Jr., signing guys like Alex Wood and Kevin Gausman. You're bringing DeSclafani in. He gets all the credit. But Kapler is the manager of the year. It's something coming up. It's something happening here with Gabe Kapler and his feel for things. Even pinch hitting. You see him pinch hit.
Yes.
Posey there, and he gets on base to start the rally against Jansen in one of those last 2 games against the Dodgers. His feel for his players in the moment, I think it's been vastly underrated this season for the Giants.
No doubt. And he's defended some of his guys. Everyone points to Rodgers, but let's go to Alex Wood, who I think a lot of people were really worried about with the spider tack thing.
It's a key, Shasky.
Look, this guy, Kapler has gone out and been at the front of defending him when, I'll be honest, I didn't know what to make of Alex Wood after the whole spider tack thing, and he had about 3 bad starts. The last 7 starts, he's 4-0 with a 3.44 ERA. 36 innings pitched. He's got 48 strikeouts. The whip looks really good. But for me, more than anything, he's got velo. He's hitting his targets. He's up and down. Let's hear what Kapler had to say about Alex Wood.
I think Wood takes a great deal of pride in putting the team on his back, when we've lost a couple of games straight. And I think he feels a sense of responsibility. He prepares so well. I think he was very ready for this opportunity and stepped up in a big way for us.
He's 100% correct here. And I just look at Alex Wood and what he's brought to this team following a loss, which to me is a very important, underrated thing. Your team is in a losing streak. I hand you the rock. Get me a win. Get me into the 6th inning.
Yeah, stop that nosebleed, baby.
He's 8-0 following the Giants' loss.
What is the record?
8-0 following the Giants' loss.
So he's a stopper here. He's a stopper. And
the numbers speak for themselves.
They do. And look, back on June 1st when he got rocked by the Angels, right?
Yeah.
Where we got rocked by the Angels on a Tuesday night, and we're like, man, and he looked depressed in the post-game presser. Maybe there were some things going on mentally. Then he had to grind in Texas through 5 1/3 of an inning, giving up 4 runs. He's starting to get better and better. They started with that Oakland start. That Oakland start against the A's when they won in extra innings. I know he didn't get to the 6th inning, but he's keeping the Giants in baseball games. And you see him against Arizona. You see him in St. Louis when he dealt, throwing 7 innings in that start. The Giants desperately need Alex Wood to give them these type of performances down the stretch because Gausman's getting lit up. He's gotten lit up the last 2 starts. DeSclafani, he's a battler. I'm not worried about DeSclafani. He seems like he's a bulldog. I like the way he battled down at Dodger Stadium. But they need, with the wild card of Johnny Cueto, you never know what you're going to get with Logan Webb. Alex Wood is a big-time key for the Giants down the stretch, whether or not they get the type of starter that we want in a Max Scherzer, or is it a Kyle Gibson or a Kenta Maeda. Alex Wood is going to play a pivotal role down the stretch for the starting rotation.
There's no doubt that he will. There's absolutely no doubt. And one guy that I think is kind of flown under the radar, because Lamont Wade Jr. has grabbed headlines.
Right.
All the starting pitching and the bullpen guys, they're going to be at the forefront because they're on the mound by themselves. When Brandon Crawford went down, I was so worried about shortstop defensively, and I was so worried about some of the clutch at-bats that he's had for this team, just in general. And we obviously had Hunter Pence on last week, and he was talking about, and Dave Fleming has said this, that Brandon Crawford had actually exploded his oblique in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either. Right? And so it's something that he's been battling a long time. But when he went down with the oblique, I'm thinking, is this 2 weeks? Is this 2 months?
Well,
Can they survive 2 weeks without him against the Dodgers? And Thairo Estrada has been an absolute revelation. I mean, this guy under the radar, batting 330 plus, playing really solid defense. No, he's not Crawford, but he's not a minus defender at all.
I mean, they were trying to put him in left field. He's playing shortstop. He's hitting for power. Hell, he won the center yesterday. It didn't get all of the baseball.
I seen that.
And I just remember I was watching it when he hit the home run. He's running around the bases. I was telling the buddies when we were at the game yesterday, I'm like, I remember Shasky and I on the morning roast, we were talking about, Estrada. We're looking at his minor league numbers. Like, look at this guy coming over from the Yankees. Who's Thairo Estrada? We didn't even know it was Thairo. We thought it was Thairo or whatnot. Well, I'm looking at Mauricio Dubon right now, batting 390 in the minors. He may not sniff the majors again this year because of Thairo Estrada. He looks good, and he has that swag, Shasky. I love the way he wears the socks. He's got the pulled-up pants. I love the swag.
Well, and I like the fact that when he's in the lineup, he's not the only one, but and this is the area that I think I underestimated, not just Farhan, but Kapler specifically, their ability to play a little small ball. The numbers tell you, if you're going to go strictly by the numbers, they usually tell you, stealing's not the most efficient way of playing baseball. Right. In fact, unless you steal bases and are succeeding at an extremely high clip, you should never do it. How many times have you seen this team do a hit and run? A lot. And I just like the pressure that they're putting on defenses. Yep. And I think Estrada's little bit of speed, but utilizing that speed when he gets on base, it's the little things. And this hasn't worked a lot, but getting those infielders in motion has opened things up for people behind him in the lineup.
Well, one of the key plays of the season is Vossler, that secondary lead against the Dodgers, to beat that throw at second base. Come on, Shasky. It's good to be back. I got notes. I got legal pads. I missed all you guys here on the roast. 888-957-9570. It is draft week. The NBA draft. All you Warrior fans, I love you Warrior fans. You're intelligent. You know what you're talking about. Well, guess what name is back in the rumorville? It is Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal. We'll discuss that coming up, as the segment was presented by Golden State Lumber, open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, with some locations open on Saturday. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com for more information. And don't forget to download the Odyssey app. Discover hundreds of new exclusive music stations available right now for sports and music fans. By sports and music fans, check out Tailgate Crashers. Crack a cold one to get game day ready with tunes from all your country favorites. The new Odyssey exclusive app on the Odyssey app, brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.
At Bank of America, we're helping to meet the need for
thought it was going to be a hee-hee and ha-ha.
With Kate, Vontae, and Shasky.
Earth to Tony Allen, it's neither a hee-hee or a ha-ha. Ever on Twitter. There's no such thing as a hee-hee and a ha-ha. Shasky, I've been on Twitter in and out during vacation. I sent a couple tweets here and there. I'm lurking. I'm creeping. I'm seeing what's going on here. And Warriors Twitter's been unbelievable. And a name that keeps popping up over and over and over is your favorite player in the NBA, Double B, Bradley Beal. No, it's not Butcher Boy. It's Bradley Beal. Another rumor with the Golden State Warriors as we get ready for the NBA draft this coming Thursday. We're going to have a lot of stuff happening. GMs, Myers, you'll hear from him. Kirk Lacob, you'll hear from him. Who will the Warriors pick at 7 and 14? Or will they package the picks for Bradley Beal? Before we get to some Woj sound, I can imagine your face and you just exploding when the name Bradley Beal came up again, the high-flying scorer from the Washington Wizards.
He's a really good player. No one is here to say that he's not a really good player. He is. He's a really good player. When I saw some of the compensation ideas that were floated around with the Warriors regarding what it would take to go get him, that's kind of where I draw the line, and we'll break it down in a second. In a vacuum, he's a ball-dominant, smaller guy. Not sure who he can defend. Not that that's the number one thing. I'm a big believer in getting buckets, but there has to be somebody on the team and on the roster who can defend. This goes back to my roster construction thing. So however you want to build the team is fine. Some things are easier to find with the veteran minimum,
right,
and others aren't. Some are easy to find in the draft, and some aren't. It's really hard in the draft or, just in general to find a quote-unquote superstar. Now, I think we loosely throw that term around. I don't think Beal's a superstar. I think he's a really, really good player.
He's a star.
He would provide another playmaker in the half court for whatever team that he plays for. But I don't think he's the type of guy who comes to a situation and instantly changes the trajectory of that team and makes you so much closer to a championship. And then it's a cost analysis equation for me.
925, Wiseman, Wiggins, Poole, 2 picks is too much for Bradley Beal. Am I crazy? But let's shop Draymond Green for these salary matches. Wiggins has first-team defense potential. I do believe Wiggins has potential to be a first-team all-defender. Probably won't ever get it because Kawhi's lurking and Paul George is lurking, and it becomes a popularity vote. But Wiggins, can be a very good defender. Now
he was this year.
I thought he was a very good defender. Very good.
By all the metrics. Now, people lose their minds when I say this. I'm not saying he is totality of his career. This year, regular season, every defensive metric you could find, he was better than someone like, let's just say, Drew Holiday, for example. He had a 109 defensive rating. He contested more shots. Guys who went up against him shot a lower percentage, and they obviously correlate that versus what the guy does on a normal night. Wiggins was outstanding, but I still feel like the narrative wrapped around him is that he's weak on defense.
Modern Mirrors on Twitch. Our roasters on Twitch. What's up? Hell no to Bradley Beal. Hell no to Bradley Beal. 31 points a game last year. He shot 35% from the three-point line.
Which was lower than Wiggins.
Lower than Wiggins. 35%. He's a career 37% three-point shooter. But the last 3 seasons, the three-point percentage has come down as he's become more of a high-volume type of shooter here. 30 points, 31.3 last year, 30.5 the year before. He does get buckets. But here's the proposed deal that supposedly is on the table for the Golden State Warriors for Bradley Beal. Adrian Wojnarowski from ESPN had this to say about the Dubs' draft day ideas.
So I think, like a lot of the league, Golden State's going to wait, see how it goes with Bradley Beal. But short of Bradley Beal being available, I expect Golden State to use those picks at 7 and 14 this week.
Based on what we know right now, the likeliest scenario is that Golden State makes picks 7 and 14 and rosters them onto the team. That's based on what we know right now at 1:30, whatever Eastern time. The Bradley Beal situation could simmer one way or another.
Now, apparently rumors, and Marcus Thompson from The Athletic wrote this, that Bradley Beal apparently wants out of Washington. That's been a rumor out there in D.C. Some people are refuting the rumors, saying that Bradley Beal doesn't want to leave, but they're in a full rebuild mode. Wes Unseld Jr. is now the coach. What are they going to do with Russell Westbrook? They're so far away from being a championship contender, and Bradley Beal may want out. But I'm looking at the 240, saying, Joe, good player, but he's 6'3" like Steph. I live in D.C. Trust me, Warriors don't need Beal. He's too small and he costs too much. And that's where I'm at, Chasky. Do I really want to see a backcourt of Bradley Beal and Stephen Curry, where we saw dribble drive penetration kill every team in the playoffs? And then you got Klay Thompson coming back. Do I want Klay Thompson at the 3? And do I want to part ways with Wiseman and Wiggins and multiple lottery picks? Oh, and by the way, you may have to throw Jordan Poole into the equation. I'm hot on Bradley Beal.
Yeah, it's this name obsession. There's so much name obsession. And I mean, like anybody that we recognize, oh my gosh, get me that person. In a vacuum, of course, people would like Bradley Beal.
Right.
You just broke it down. Jordan Poole, I think, is extreme value for the Golden State Warriors heading into next year. I think this guy's going to take a quantum leap forward. I'm just not ready to surrender James Wiseman. I know people are out there who think that bigs can't help you at all. I don't know. Did you watch the last 2 champions? Like, did you watch what ended up slowing down Phoenix? Phoenix's offense was really, really, really good. And they finally got stifled by a team that was just physically bigger and stronger than them and longer. And I look at a team that acquires someone like Bradley Beal, and you're surrendering a 6'8" wing defender who can help you. Now, he's not the greatest rebounder. If I'm being honest with you, part of why the Bucks and even the Lakers, part of why their defense is so good, they clear defensive rebounds and possessions. Part of why they're so good on the offensive side is because they get a lot of offensive rebounds. I believe that the Bucks in the wins had more than a third of total offensive rebounds that were available. So those things matter in terms of getting extra second chance points and getting stops so you can finish on the defensive side. I love getting buckets, believe me, but I'm not surrendering Wiseman, Wiggins, Poole, multiple draft picks. To me, it's a gross overpay, if we're being honest, in terms of roster construction. And I just don't think it's that easy finding a bunch of veterans to fill all these other slots. Now, all those people that don't like Kent Bazemore, well, guess what? You're going to see lots and lots of Kent Bazemore because that's what's really out there on that veteran market. More Kent Bazemores as opposed to some younger player who at least has some upside.
And no, I'm with you there. And it also means you're going to put Klay Thompson at small forward.
Exactly.
You're going to put him at the 3. Do you really want Klay Thompson guarding guys like Paul George? Do you really want him guarding threes in the league? Jason Tatum's of the world, Jaylen Brown's. You know, he's playing small forward coming off these gruesome injuries, the Achilles tendon, and, of course, that torn ACL. I'm kind of out on that, Langford. I'm looking at Langford nod his head. I don't want to get smaller. I want to stay the course here. And, look, I'm seeing a text on here, 925. What about Miles Turner for the number 7 pick? That's something I would think about. I think about that.
Well, here's the thing. You can't just trade the 7th pick for someone making $15 million a year.
Exactly. So you're going to have to part ways with somebody.
You're going to have to part ways with somebody. So it's a great idea, and of course I would do it. But once you select that 7th pick, you get about $3 million, okay? $3 million for $15 million once you're so far over the cap. It doesn't work. So you'd have to throw in somebody making comparable money, and you look at the Warrior roster, unless you're willing to part with Wiggins, Draymond, Steph Curry, or Klay Thompson, which most people are not, you're not going to be getting anyone making over $10 million a year.
And there was something in that article when Marcus Thompson had that report with Bradley Beal. And let's just take Bradley Beal out of it for just a second, because in the article when Marcus Thompson reported it, he said that the Warriors trio of stars, Steph, Klay, and Dre, are all saying they're in win now mode and would be willing to consider taking those 2 picks and trading them for someone who can help them win now. Now, does that necessarily mean it's for Bradley Beal? Maybe, maybe not, maybe, probably, maybe not, Shanahan.
Yeah.
Or it could mean, hey, they're trying to trade those 2 picks and maybe throw in another player, and you try and get someone within the top 5 that could help you now. So I do think that was an interesting tidbit on the article.
So it's interesting that you say that, because that's, to me, the most tantalizing scenario right here for the Warriors is, and I know this sounds crazy, just stay the course. I don't think you're as far away as people think you are. Don't panic. Don't become desperate. Let's trade 7, 14, Pascal, and maybe a future first rounder, and let's move up into the top 5. And get one good player who you really, really like, because I do think there's a difference between top 5 or so and some of the guys that they're selecting. I don't think that there's room for 2 young players on top of Wiseman to go into that rotation. So can I turn Pascal, who's really the odd man out? Can I turn a future first rounder, because I'm betting on my season coming up here, 7 and 14, into a Jalen Suggs. Now that to me is a way more intriguing prospect than trading all of these assets away to get Bradley Beal, because the thing that I don't think people understand is once you deplete all of your assets, it makes it really, really difficult to round out the rest of that roster.
No doubt.
And as the Bucks and Phoenix and all the teams that were in the Final Four showed, as great as a top 4 is, you got to have some depth. I'm watching KD play with a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, Brooklyn, if you look at their depth, once Harden went out with the hamstring injury and Kyrie twisted his ankle, it was KD ISO all day long. And look, if KD had a size 16, Bruce Brown, how many missed floaters do you want to see from Bruce Brown? That would be Kent Bazemore next season. I love Bazemore here. But there's a couple questions here and something interesting that Langford brought up that I want to get to in just a second about Steph, Clay, and Draymond and what they want. When you talk about the teams that are in the Final Four in basketball, the top heavy teams, it's just not like, even the Warriors, people forget, like, if KD doesn't come back that first year after Martin Gortat runs into his knee, they're going to lose to the Spurs. They were going to lose to the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals. They needed KD to come back. Same thing with Steph the next year when he gets hurt on a Friday night against Atlanta. It's like, boy, can they stay the course without Steph Curry? One of those guys are out during that championship run. Warriors don't win championships. They don't go to the NBA Finals, so I prefer depth as well, Shasky. I'm kind of with you here. And if you want to move it to the top 4, then give me Jalen Suggs because, yeah, he's a youngster, but you see the maturity that he plays with, an all-around type of card. Reminds me so much of Brandon Roy, not as athletic, but the guy can do a little bit of everything. I would be in on that.
As much as I love scoring, and I think it's really easy for people to digest scoring when they're sitting on their couch, there's so many subtleties that create a winning environment. Like everybody that applauded Iguodala and Livingston for their sophisticated play under the radar that didn't have anything to do with scoring. How are we devaluing Wiggins? To me, the variable that I cannot for the life of me understand is how Wiggins is now all of a sudden some throw-in on these trades. Did you watch the season that he had this year? No, okay, he's not one of the top 25 players in the league. He is a very important piece for this team to get back into the playoffs this year. If you don't think that he provides value at 6'8" in his defense, if you don't think he provides value in terms of his really efficient scoring this last year, I just don't know what you were watching.
I haven't done this in a while, Saskia. I got crossed up here, the breaks and everything. But you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM, and AC1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Station. Look, Dave Fleming's going to join us a little bit later at 8 o'clock. Anthony Slater, you could download the interviews. Anthony Slater at 9:30. Download the interviews on the Odyssey app, and it's brought to you by Timeless Coffee. What's up, Timeless? Timeless has been great. It's been great to have Timeless during the vacation, but something you brought up with Pascal and the trade or whatnot, and something else that Langford brought up that I want to get to, because 888-957-9570. I want to ask the Warrior fans out there, because I know they're jacked up about it. Would you be okay with Steph, Clay, and Draymond calling the shots? If Steph Curry walks into the office and Joe Lacob and Bob Myers and says, hey, I'm entering my last year of the deal. I have 3 championships. I know I went to 5 straight finals. However, I want to go play for the title next season. And I don't think we have time to wait on James Wiseman. Now, maybe the conversation doesn't go like that. But if Steph Curry walks up to Bob Myers and Joe Lacob says, I want Bradley Beal, do you basically cede the power to Steph Curry and say, you know what? We're going to give you what you want. We're going to make a move for Bradley Beal.
I mean, I think it's really difficult to kind of push back on Steph Curry. If that's the one and only time that he's ever done that, has he built up the equity? Of course he has. Has he built up so much goodwill? Of course he has. There's no doubt about it. But I think that you have to go through the flow chart and the domino effect of making a move like that and what it does for the rest of your roster. Because if you want to look at Steph missed 8-9 games this year?
9 games, 2-7.
Okay. With a roster like that, he misses 8-9 games. I mean, you're in a similar spot to where you are now. I'm just not convinced, and this is just something. Maybe they are, and I'm wrong. Right. Maybe they're right, and I'm wrong here. But I'm just not convinced Bradley Beal, and you surrender all of those things. I just don't see how that makes you so much better to where you're just one of these teams that is a force to be reckoned with. Like, I think we are in a desperation mode because it's the offseason and we didn't have the taste of the postseason. I don't know that we're that desperate, though. Yeah, I think we're a lot closer than people want to give us credit.
Well, you look at the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals. They may not have Chris Paul. They may not have Chris Paul next season. He may opt out and decide, hey, I want to go to L.A. and play with the Lakers and play with my best friend LeBron James and get back to Staples Center. Phoenix, I'm not afraid of Phoenix next year. Yes, Booker's a star. Ayton's getting better. But if the Warriors are healthy, Warriors could beat that team. Utah, we talked about how fraudulent Utah was. Everybody saw them losing in the second round. Just didn't see it happening the way it did, but they lost in the second round. The Clippers, Kawhi Leonard is not going to be around with the torn ACL. He may not be back until the playoffs, and where will the Clippers be by then? We have no idea. So I'm with you. For Bradley Beal, 7-14, Wiggins and Wiseman is steep. And I think Steph Curry would walk into Bob Myers and Joe Lacob saying, you know what? Yes, I want a star, but that isn't the star that I want because I just don't see the fit with Bradley Beal, who's a ball-dominant player.
Well, and if I'm Joe Lacob, okay, think about what happens here at this radio station. Never do you negotiate in groups of three. Like, you negotiate with people on a one-on-one basis. So if Steph Curry wants something, absolutely. But then I would lean into Steph when the other two are not there and be like, all right, are you sure you're married to Draymond Green? Because, boy, that gives me a lot more wiggle room. Are you sure you're married to Klay Thompson? I'm just saying, like, you can't just, there has to be some compromise. There has to be some level of conversation and flexibility. You can't have it all the way your way all the time because that's just not how any business would be run.
If you're the Warriors, if you're Joe Lacob and Bob Myers, are you listening to Draymond Green?
I mean,
on what you want. Are you listening to Draymond Green, who, by the way, Mary Babers Green, Draymond's mama, yesterday she was going off on Twitter saying Draymond should have played in the last 5 minutes of the game. Saying they needed defense. Well, it didn't look like to me they needed defense. They needed to get a bucket. They were bricking everywhere.
Didn't he do that? Didn't he have that last-second shot against Greg Popovich against the Spurs earlier on this season? It's like Popovich is like, I'm not putting that in the final seconds of the game.
That's right. That's right. When he threw up the brick from half court.
Where he wanted to get fouled.
Right. So would Warrior fans want that? Because we talk about getting buckets, but it's not everything. But it's also, when you have a player like Draymond Green and Ben Simmons, which we saw this past postseason, when you have a guy on the floor who doesn't want to shoot, who kind of can't shoot, it slows everything down. And think about how much stress it puts on Steph Curry to run around on all those screens. And Draymond's just waiting. Okay, here you go. Here you go, Steph Curry. I'm getting you the ball now. You think Steph would lean in and talk to Bob and talk to Joe Lacob and say, you know what? Yes, I want a star, but maybe you got to break them apart. Maybe you got to break up the band.
I think that's the very difficult road that Warrior fans aren't ready to cross at this point. But here's the thing, B.
First day back, and I'm already
No. What do you value more, post defense or perimeter defense in the modern NBA?
Perimeter defense.
Okay. All right. So we agree. Draymond is part why this team was a top 5 defense this year. He's a defensive anchor, right? But I look at the wing play in the West, and I'm asking myself, man, Luka is big and strong and really good, and he ain't going nowhere. Booker is big and strong and a great wing player, and he ain't going nowhere. Donovan Mitchell, same thing. And he's not as tall as those other two, but he's a big, strong guy who you're going to have to defend on the perimeter. Let's see what happens with Dame, but I'm operating like he's still going to be there. He's another guy who's going to be in your conferences out there. Man, if you swing all of this for Bradley Beal, Draymond ain't guarding those guys on the perimeter, as much as I love Draymond, right? So now I need to bring somebody out here who can play a lot of minutes against some of these really great, these aren't good, these are great generational players out on the wing in crunch time. Because as much as it's about getting buckets, you do have to get a stop every now and then, or at least make it difficult for someone like Lucas, who he can't just back you down and shoot over you. So again, I look at this not just about, do I like Bradley Beal? Of course I like Bradley Beal. Does he fit the tool repertoire I need on my belt to get where I need to go at the end of games? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. E-Man Koa on Twitch. Dre, you can ship out and move on as long as you have discussed this with Stephen Curry. But Steph, you have to listen to. And I think everybody in the organization says if number 30 comes up and says he wants this, and you got to give this guy a massive extension or you risk possibly losing him, then you got to do what I think you got to do what Steph wants. But what does Steph want? Does he want Bradley Beal? Does Warrior fans want Bradley Beal? Because this is a name for 2 years now, Shasky. It's been a hot name. First it's like the Giants, right? With Stanton, with Bryce Harper, with Ohtani for a bit. Bradley Beal has become the buzzword name in the Bay Area. Bradley Beal, and a lot of people love Bradley Beal. I love to hear from those people who do love Bradley Beal and why it would work with the Golden State Warriors. Why would Bradley Beal work with the Golden State Warriors? 888-957-9570. Because, again, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around Bradley Beal, Steph, Clay, Draymond, and who's playing the 5.
Well, I guess you want Draymond to play the 5, and maybe you find somebody in the
That's a really small lineup.
It is, and you're an old team. You're a really old team.
Yep.
I mean, that's the other part that I don't think people are ready to admit is like, Bradley Beal's put a lot of minutes in this league. I know he's 28 right now. That's just a lot. The thing that I look at this if I was to make an argument for why it would work, well, they really need a second playmaker in the half court. They really need somebody who can knock down shots opposite Steph Curry.
And Bradley Beal is a playmaker.
Oh, he's fantastic offensively. He absolutely is. And I'm not here to say he's horrible defensively. He's just small, right? And I don't know how much he wants to work on the defensive side. We said that about Wiggins before he got here. He got to this place and he transformed himself into a great defender for this team. I would argue a first or second team defender by my metrics, the way I watch the game. He's a really, really good player. This isn't sexy because this doesn't get all the impressions on Twitter. I think I'm out on it. It's too much of an overpay. I think Jordan Poole can give me very, very, very good value at his price point coming off the bench and can really help this team. Is he as good as Bradley Beal? Of course he's not. There's a big jump up between the two. But I'm hoping in 2 years, maybe Jordan Poole can be a Bradley Beal-like player for really, really cheap, making lots of less money. So again, this isn't about just Bradley Beal. It's about roster construction and fitting it all underneath the cap and trying to put the best overall team out there. I watched the Milwaukee Bucks weather some injuries and still have a really deep, well-rounded NBA veteran team out there. No one's talked about P.J. Tucker.
Nobody.
But P.J. Tucker was out there putting in work.
What about Pat Connaughton?
What about Bobby Portis?
Bobby Portis was great.
You can't even swing a Bobby Portis deal right now if you're the Golden State Warriors. You know why? Because you're so over the cap and you don't have any other guys making enough money to even absorb someone like a Bobby Portis. That's the element I don't think fans are really appreciating. It's that they are so over it. There's only a couple moves they can make. And if they go all in on Bradley Beal, they're very depleted with resources.
No doubt about that. 415, I don't want to lose Wiseman. I still think he could blossom into a Giannis type of player. Giannis is special.
He's a unicorn.
He is unbelievable. But Wiseman can be really good. I'm with the 415. I don't want to give up on Wiseman either. 707.
Chicken minis, yes.
Oh, man. We got to get to that because I would have discussed that as well. Giannis going to Chick-fil-A. No, I would not do the deal.
Why?
I would not do the deal because I'm kind of with you. I would rather have the depth, and I don't think this team is far away. I'm looking at Klay Thompson. If Klay is Klay, and I'm rolling out Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, I got Wiseman and Poole coming off the bench doing pick and rolls. I'm sitting there looking pretty in the Western Conference. Seriously, then you still have Looney. He knows where to be. We're all forgetting about Kevon Looney. And the buyout market. If the Warriors are humming and they're in the top 4 by the buyout market, Shasky, guess what? Those ring-chasing veterans are like, yeah, buy me out. I'm going to Chase Center. I'm going to play with Steph and Clay. They know how to win in a big moment.
Well, and I'm just looking at what's available in terms of those veterans. Like, it's really hard to find a three-size guy who can defend, a perimeter wing. There are so many Marquise Chris, Marc Gasol types that are available for dirt cheap. So, again, this is about what's the easiest to find on the cheap market, what's the easiest to find in this draft, and then it's about how you want to put this belt together. I call it the tool belt. I just think giving up all this for just Beal doesn't make you Batman.
No, it doesn't. The 707, Mikey Dubs. Good morning, Roast Knowledge. Bradley Beal is number 3 on my King of the Hill trade target. Hey, Mikey Dubs, don't you wait. King of the Hill is back tomorrow. King of the Hill is back, baby.
Number 3.
I'm still a believer in size. And
yes,
I know that
too.
the league has kind of moved around in terms of like how it views spacing and sizing. I still believe in size, and I think we're undervaluing the physicality of even someone like Drew Holiday and what he did in front of Booker and Chris Paul.
Look at the last 4 teams standing. Size. The Clippers had size. They got cut down and chopped up by the Phoenix Suns because of their size, and they lost Sarge. The Suns lost Sarge, which hurt their size and physicality. In Milwaukee, big, physical. Atlanta had some size.
They did.
Atlanta had some size. Hey, DeAndre Hunter would have helped them against Milwaukee, who was out with a knee injury. Size still matters, Shasky. So we'll do this. 888-957-9570. Dub Nation, what is happening? It is draft week, baby. Draft week is finally here.
It's a big week.
It's a huge week. It's in Bay Nanta here at 95.7 The Game. Line up the lines and let us know how much should the Warriors listen to the big three about their offseason moves. Should Bob Myers and Joe Lacob listen to Steph, Clay, and Dre? And if they say we want Bradley Beal, should they acquiesce to what the big three wants? And are you making a move for Bradley Beal? I want to know. 888-957-9570. I'm back. Shasky, it's good to see you with that fresh George Kittle shirt, Langford and Curly in the back. We'll be right back.
Switching and saving with your local Geico agent sure is easy. It's as easy.
right now at 1:30, whatever Eastern time. The Bradley Beal situation could simmer one way or another.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Kate, Vontae, and Shasky.
Wow. I wanted to hit that. It's been a while since I heard that. Wow. Rumorville, as it is a bonanza here at 95.7 The Game. All week we got the baseball trade deadline, Shasky, Friday at 1 p.m. West Coast time. What are the Giants going to do? You hear the Nationals saying, you know what? That's it for us. It's sell time.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. We're done. It's time to sell. Max Scherzer is on the block. Yeah. He's on the block. Ooh, the Giants need a starter. We got MLB trade deadline Friday, 1 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Shasky, we got training camp coming up.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Players report in July 27th.
I mean, I've reported over the weekend. I don't know if you know this.
July 28th is when players get on the field in practice, and we get to see the return of Nick Bosa. And I'm hearing D4 looks good. Fred Warner says D4 looks good. So we're going to discuss all that. And, by the way, of course, the biggest storyline down in training camp, Shasky, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo.
What about the Fred Warner extension? Because you weren't here when the Fred Warner extension dropped. And just while we're here for a second, we'll get back into Beal. And I have a thing on the Giants trade situation right now. What did you think when you seen that Fred Warner, number 54, used to be number 48, was rewarded with the richest contract in linebacker history?
Love it. This guy, off and on the field, just a total pro. We never hear a teammate say a bad thing about him. He's a leader. You don't see him have too many bad games. He makes tackles. He's a 3-down linebacker in today's game when you're lined up in the nickel defense, when you only have 2 linebackers on the field. This guy guards running backs. He guards tight ends. He hits people. He can blitz. I love Fred Warner Jr. I mean, this was a no-brainer extension. You know, you lost Buckner, which had a lot of soul. A lot of Niner fans were a little upset over that. You imagine if Warner left, because there's some people out there who think that you could just replace linebackers. You don't give a linebacker this type of money. He's a linebacker. Linebackers are very, very important. Go look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what they did last year with Levante David and Devin Smith. Devin White, I should say. Those guys are ballers. Ballers down in Tampa Bay. I love the Fred Warner deal. $95 million in potential earnings. The base salary, of course, backloaded. A Parag Marate special to help the Niners out in the short term. Shasky, there's nothing to not like about the Fred Warner Jr. deal.
All right, so, I mean, the Niners, man, I'm so fired up. I'm just looking at the calendar right now.
Oh, my God.
We've got 1 Saturday, 2 Saturdays. We are 3 Saturdays away from Niners Chiefs at Levi Stadium at 5:30 at night.
Oh, my gosh.
Do you know how fired up I am?
It is the debut of Trey Lance. You know how crazy Levi's going to be for that preseason game?
I'm going to be off the hook.
Trey Lance.
And if he throws 1 touchdown pass, if you think the Jalen Hurd situation, scoring 2 touchdown passes on 2 touches in a preseason game against the Cowboys, if you think that didn't inspire 75,000 articles over the last 4 years, you just wait till Trey Lance has his opportunity.
Not even a touchdown, like a 30-yard throw downfield, pinpoint accuracy to Brandon Ayuk. That's where the fans are going to go crazy.
Is this the most anticipated? Brandon Ayuk, he probably won't. But is this the most anticipated trading camp in 49ers history?
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, Jared Hayne on line 1, returning kicks, was about the most ZZZ training camp of all time. There's been some guys, though, that have balled. Thomas Clayton, way back when, led the entire preseason in rushing. I don't know if you remember that, number 35. I wanted him to be a baller. Nate Davis taking snaps under center. Ken Dorsey having a great preseason in 03, I believe, or 04. There have been some big-time moments. This is by far and away the biggest one. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo dropping back and throwing 5 interceptable passes against the Denver Broncos.
You remember that?
Or whatever it was. That was bad.
But
people lost their minds. This one, because once Jimmy trotted off the field, we were kind of done with that game.
Right.
Like this one, like every Jimmy snap, every Trey snap, God, I can't wait. Just inject it into my veins.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Training camp happening later this week. So it's a bonanza here at 95.7 The Game. Joe Shasky, the Butcher Boy, back with him. Vontae, I've been out for 2 weeks. Covey held it down here on our Morning Roast. We'll get your calls in just a second. They're lighting up right now. 888-957-9570. Dub Nation with the Warriors on the clock Thursday. Picks number 7 and 14. Do you want Bradley Beal? Warrior feds. Do you really want Bradley Beal? Because it's going to cost you a pretty penny. Probably going to cost you Wiggins. Probably going to cost you Wiseman. And it may even cost you Jordan Poole, who's mixing people up at Jamal Crawford's Pro-Am up in Seattle. Mixing Jay Crossover. Mixing people. So it's going to cost you a pretty penny for Bradley Beal. But Dub Nation, is it worth it? Is it worth it to go out there and trade for Bradley Beal? 888-957-9570.
So I'm not sure if you've ever had certain truffle oils, but there are times when you have a really exquisite meal. It's very expensive. Truffle oil, right? It's a little too rich for my heart sometimes, and a little too rich where you can only have a couple of bites.
Where are you eating at? Because truffle oil, that's a little out my budget, man.
Well, this is obviously someone else was comping the meal. This is not me. This is not me creating or necessarily paying for said meal.
Sound like you're eating with the 1%ers, man. Truffle oil.
Sprinkle me, man. Pinky's up over here, man. Sprinkle me. No, but the way I look at this, like, Bradley Beal's a really, really good player. He really is. No one's here saying that he isn't. I'm not giving up all of that for him because I don't think it makes you exponentially better. To me, it's a plus-minus situation. As much as people want to obsess about plus-minus on the court, this is about roster construction plus-minus, and then what resources you would have left. You would have nothing left other than the mid-levels and the veteran minimum signings. I just don't think there's enough other players out there to round out the rest of the roster to make you exponentially better. That's just the way I'm looking at it.
I'm with you there. Let's go to Orville in San Francisco, who wants to talk about Bradley Beal. Orville, good morning. You're on the roast. Do you want Bradley Beal?
Boys? Good morning.
Yep. Do you want Bradley Beal?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I just want to know if you want Bradley Beal.
Hell yeah, I want that kid. He's young. I like the fact that he's from the gateway to the West. So that's like a sign there telling us, come on over. And he works hard. Like, his defense is the best, but, like, Andrew Wiggins is right in the same category as Bradley Beal, if you ask me. So
if, whoa. Orville, if Wiggins is in the same category as Bradley Beal, why would you trade Wiggins, Wiseman, and all these picks for Bradley Beal?
Because I feel like Bradley Beal will mold into more of a superstar. I feel like he'll end more with a bang than Andrew Wiggins.
All right.
That's just my opinion.
All right, Orville. 888-957-9570. Do you want Bradley Beal and ET Phone Home on Twitch, Shasky? Bradley Beal off the truffle oil? Never thought I'd hear that comparison.
It's so funny. We throw the superstar label out there, and I don't think the way I break down superstars, Bradley Beal is not a quote-unquote superstar for my tiering. I think there's only like 7 or 8 real superstars.
He's a star.
Okay. But not
a superstar.
Right?
Yeah,
there's levels to it. And I just look at him and I'm like, he's a really good player. But, I think that you're not doing all of the math that is required when you basically trade this much to get Bradley Beal. And then what are you left with? What does the team look like on both ends of the court? What does it look like when he doesn't get his X amount of shots up? Right? It's one thing to just point to his scoring totals and say, wow, man, he would look great opposite Steph. I think it's really hard playing opposite Steph Curry.
It is.
And I think there are only certain people like Klay Thompson who have that particular makeup really thrive opposite Steph Curry because you have to be quite selfless.
Right. No doubt. I'm with you there. Don't forget, this segment is presented by Go to State Lumber, open from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, with some locations open on Saturday. Visit gotostatelumber.com for more information. And you can listen to us on the radio, on the app. Watch us on Twitch and YouTube. We are everywhere. That's right. The YouTube page is happening. 95.7 The Game YouTube page. We're everywhere. This week, next week, throughout the history of 95.7 The Game, we're going to be all over the place here as we cover the NBA draft.
I'm here.
And look, go on the YouTube page, 957 The Game. We're going to do a little mailbag Monday after the show. Hopefully today I'm going to set it up, and I want people to log in there. I'm going to be talking to the fans. We're going to do the same thing on Twitch, simulcast both of them. You got questions for me? Go all over the place. I'm going to be unfiltered. You think I'm calm now? I'm trying to be. I'm relaxed. It's Monday morning, and I want people to get all riled up here in the Bay Area. It's a huge week, and I got thoughts for days.
It's Monday morning at 7:29, and I know you as the butcher. You are the butcher, It's draft week, man.
No,
it's 7-14. We've been talking about it. This is the start of the roster construction for the 2021-2022 NBA season. Training camp's right around the corner. Your Giants are in first place, and they got the Dodgers on deck tomorrow at Oracle. Oh, pennant race. A pennant race as we head into the dog days, baby. How are you not more fired up right now, man? I can see it in your face. You're like, you're trying to hold back, but come on, I'm getting jacked up just thinking about it.
Well, on the Giants thing, they need to make a 97 deal. I mean, there's no question about it in my mind. They need an all-in. I don't think the Warriors need that deal. Yeah. I know it doesn't sound sexy. Like in the NBA, we do this thing. We do this name recognition game. Oh, that's a name I recognize. Trade X for that, and let's give me that player. I don't look at it that way. I'm not in this desperate, the sky is falling, the Warriors have to strike while the iron's hot. I just watched Chris Paul, who's been falling apart for 6 straight years, always getting hurt. All right, I watched him take his team with a bunch of people that I think the casual NBA fan was like, oh, they had a nice little bubble run.
Right.
We'll see what Chris Paul does with them. Right. They could have been knocked out in the first round. They stayed the course, and they ended up getting lucky with some injuries. They made the most of the roster that they had around them. And now everyone's looking around like, wow, Mikal Bridges took a big quantum leap forward. Wow, obviously Booker's an absolute superstar. There's no question about it. Cam Johnson looks really good. Cam Johnson's coming off the bench. Campaign anyone in the league could have had. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to preclude me from swinging a big-time deal. I'm saying for this particular deal, it's too rich. I'm not surrendering Poole, Wiseman, all these picks, and Wiggins. I'm not even sure, even if I said this, and I know this is going to sound controversial, for this team, not knowing what Clay is, not knowing what else is out there, I'm not even convinced I'll do 7-14 and Wiggins for Beal.
Wow.
I'm being real with you. I think I have to think long and hard about that. I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to maybe swing that deal. I'm saying I don't think that's a no-brainer. I think we're devaluing Wiggins.
7-14.
Come on, doggy.
7-14 Wiggins for Bradley Beal. You get to keep James Wiseman. You still have Jordan Poole. You still have the buyout market. You still have the mid-level. Looney's coming back. 7-14 in Wiggins for Bradley Beal. I meant to say, hey, Washington, man, let me, can you give me 6 hours on this one? Can I think long? Because that's a deal that I probably will pull the trigger on. Bradley Beal, like I know you're giving up a lot. That is a lot for a guy who's not a good defender. The key for me is keeping Wiseman. You telling me I get to keep Wiseman?
I agree with that.
And I get Beal, a guy who can score 30, because late game situations, if Steph's getting suffocated coming off those screens, I know I got another playmaker. I know I got another playmaker in Bradley Beal. That's a deal I think about.
But the fact that you're even thinking about it, and I'm limiting those couple, shows you how egregious the Wiseman Poole, all the picks, and Wiggins is to me. You get what I'm going with this?
That's a robbery. That's a robbery.
Thank you.
That's a robbery. And if they did that, you'd have to bring in truffle oil, as the 415 says. The man said truffle oil. I want truffle oil. Where can I get truffle oil? 888-957-9570. Can I get it at Whole Foods?
Haven't you ever had like a piece of meat that's so rich you can only have a couple bites? And I'm a guy that loves, I love a nice steak, but that's what I'm talking about. That's where I'm at on this. Like, I'll take a couple bites of it, and then I go, you know what? It's a little too rich for me. I'm going to leave the rest of the steak out there on the plate and let somebody else eat it.
That Marin truffle oil, too rich, man. 888-957-9570. Real quick, Shasky.
Yeah.
Let's go to Peter in the city.
Okay, let's hear from
Peter
him.
in the city, man. Do you want Bradley Beal on the Golden State Warriors? Good morning. You're on the roast.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad.
I'm thinking Bradley Beal, for what we would have to give up for him, I don't think it's going to be worth it. With his liability on defense, it's just giving me too much D'Angelo Russell vibes, and I'm not really with it.
Interesting.
It's too much. It's too expensive.
Yeah,
that's an interesting. He's way better than D'Angelo Russell, but I do see the similarities in terms of style of play. Like, again, it's not a like for like. They're vastly different. I think that Beal's more efficient. I think he would, and I also think that we discredit guys like Beal. So like Beal's played a certain way in Washington, and I've told you this about James Harden and other guys. I do believe Beal is so sophisticated in terms of how he could play. He would adapt to the environment that they have here and be a really, 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 really good player.
No
right?
doubt.
Again, I just don't think that I'm surrendering the rest of my roster to just add him.
Right.
Because I don't want a bunch of Kent Bazemore types on the bench playing crucial minutes, hacking teams left and right.
Yep. Let's go out to Durf in the city. Durf, good morning, man. You're on the roast. You want Bradley Beal?
Hello?
Durf, you want Bradley Beal? Good morning, man.
Man, what's up, Bonte? How you doing, man?
I'm good, baby. I'm good.
I don't want Bill, man. I don't want Bill right now, man. I don't feel like we need to give up these picks
Thank you.
for Bradley. He's a great player. It's something to think about. But at the end of the day, everybody's coming healthy. You stated that we're still going to need somebody for Steph. Clay's going to be coming back great. We're not going to push him too hard in the first half of the season, but I'm pretty sure when playoffs comes around, he's going to be ready for the game. I don't think we need to give it up. I think we need to go after these young players that's coming out of the draft, and I think we need to keep our team and get solid, man.
I love that call, Dirk.
Next year for the
See, I'm with
I
him.
love that call, Durf. Great call, Durf. We got to run here, but good call there.
Hey.
I'm kind of with them, too. But you did make me think, though. 7-14 and just Wiseman for Bradley Beal.
That's more stomachable.
Or excuse me, not Wiseman, Wiggins, because the money has to match.
Yeah, it's more stomachable for me, and I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm willing to like, and that one to me is at least, I think, more of a compelling back and forth. When you throw Wiseman in there and you're throwing Jordan Poole, like, now you're just getting ridiculous. Now you're just throwing things at the wall. To me, that's someone who doesn't understand, and this is my bigger overall take. Forget Warrior fans for a second, because I think inside the bubble here, our fans are sophisticated. They're getting on, by the way, I don't know if you know this, I am now the leader of the cable car, okay? So when you do it, you hop on. Like right now, we're in the Bonanza. We got a big week. Niners, Giants leading the way. Warriors. Every single one of them has ties to the cable car. So give me the cable car sound. All right? I am here ringing the cable car. Hop on. I want to know where you're at. But I'm looking at this way. I think that the national media is throwing things at the wall. I'm seeing things like Bill Simmons and Russillo talk the way that they're talking about Wiggins, and they're having to amend things that they've printed, that they've put in print. They have to go back and alter because it's so egregiously bad. They are getting absolutely bodied on Twitter because they are not watching this team the way we are. If you watched Wiggins every night, no, I'm not here to say he's Paul George, but he's really good. And I think of all the players that we discuss in these trades, people are talking about him like he's a throw-in, like he's this albatross contract from a year and a half ago. Bonte, did they not watch the season that he had?
Yeah, no, well, Bill Simmons and Russillo, I've never been a Russillo fan.
Nor
I
have
don't get the value. I don't get who he is.
I'm never in on someone who gets naked and lands in their neighbor's yard for no reason after being completely plastered.
What a sight that was. What a sight that was. And, you know, he's still working.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, it couldn't be me at all. Ben Simmons, I mean, nobody will want to see my body. Shasky, our bodies are terrible. Like the Peloton screaming our name.
Yourself, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm telling you, you do look better than me right now. I mean, but Ryan Russillo, whatever. Bill Simmons has been saying off the wall things, and it's not possible he's a Celtic fan. There's no way he stand up every night watching Andrew Wiggins. The misperception, and part of the reason why people are so hard on Wiggins is because of the contract. Minnesota gave him that contract, not the Warriors. It's not his fault that Minnesota wanted to give him $31 and $33 million over the last 2 years of this mega deal. That's not his fault. So everybody takes the contract and say, well, he's not living up to the contract. But you know what? For what the Warriors want, two-way player, guy giving you 18 points per game. I need better free throw shooting from Andrew Wiggins. There's no doubt about that. But the three-point percentage was up there at a career high. He does what the Warriors needs, and he's out of the spotlight, which I think he loves.
Yes.
Steph, Draymond, Clay, they get all the headlines. He gets to just sit back in the cut, get his 18, rebound a little bit better, and play solid defense.
Well, and I think the area that people are kind of, and myself included, missing here is if you do, let's just say, even if it's just one guy, you walk away with one contributor, I think that takes a little of the load off of Wiggins offensively and defensively so he can have fresher legs throughout the year. I think with no Klay Thompson this year, really no backup true three. Like they didn't really have a true backup three behind him. His legs were shot by the year's end. And I think that affected his offense. And I also think that he just wore down, especially in those final two play-in games.
No doubt.
And so if you get just one player out of this draft, you get Klay Thompson back, I think you're going to have an even more efficient Wiggins down the stretch. But the way people are talking about him, B, it's like he's the Keith Van Horn contract at the end where everyone just kept stapling it to every deal like he's going to be DFA'd. Like, nah, that's not it. Like, this guy's a legit. He was the second most minutes on the team. He was the most reliable player in terms of games played this year. Like, I don't know what to say to people.
Well, not only that, but like, doesn't it feel like Wiggins is entering his prime?
Absolutely.
I don't think we've seen the best of Andrew Wiggins. Now, how much better can he be from what he was last season? I have no idea. But it feels like he's entering his prime and starting to feel comfortable in a system that provides him open shot after open shot after open shot.
No doubt about it. And by the way, if you're on here, 888-957-9570, we're asking about where you're at on these picks and Bradley Beal and what are you willing to give up? And also, I challenge our audience. We've got a great audience. By the way, B, I was at a wedding last night. I was blown away at the love that we were getting. Wow. And I didn't realize it. And I know you were talking about the Giants game. We'll get into it in a second. 957 The Game. Search us on YouTube. We're trying to grow this thing. I challenge our ridiculously large audience. You guys are young, you're hip, you are down with it. I want 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month, not this month, at the end of August on our YouTube page. Go on there right now. We're streaming on Twitch, 957 The Game, and every one of you has freaking YouTube on the iPhone. Go on there, take 2 seconds out, click subscribe, go on there, comment on some videos. You can watch us live. You can see me in my sweet Niner gear as I get ready for our training camp.
No, I can't wait for that. YouTube page is going to be lit. Mailbag Mondays with Joe Shasky is going to be happening where he will answer your questions, and you'll get to Butcher Boy unfiltered.
Yes.
Unfiltered.
I'm calm right now. You wait until 10:01.
This is calm for you?
Yeah, on my tiering system. I mean, it's like there's levels to this, John Dickinson. I mean, come on.
Dave Fleming.
I mean, come on. Smile, people.
Dave Fleming will join us at 8 o'clock to talk about the Giants. I'll get to the Giants in just a second because you talk about the wedding you're at. And I see you, Shaska. You on the show looking so damn dapper. So proud of you, man. You look like you had a great time.
Thank you.
I was at the Giants game yesterday, and you're right. People were saying, hey, Roast, baby, what do you think about Bradley Beal? What about the Warriors? Hey, you think Jimmy's going to be around? So we are getting a lot of love there. I'm just like, dude, I'm still on vacation. I don't want to answer these questions. Tune in at 6 a.m. I'll answer them for you. As a forward says, where the hell have you been, Mr. Hill? Been on vacation. I've been out for a little bit, lurking in the cut. Bradley Beal, the latest name. Also another name that we seem to hear a lot about is Miles Turner. Doesn't get the buzz that Bradley Beal does, but Miles Turner, nice center, blocks a lot of shots, can hit the three. You intrigued with Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers?
I am. The only problem is his salary would make it that you'd have to surrender a couple of things here. So, like, the picks themselves, yes, I would like Miles Turner. I think he'd be a really good, I actually think he'd be a great addition. I think he'd be really good for Wiseman's development. I keep going Wiseman this morning. Apologies. I think he'd be really good for him, but because he's making, $15 million, I think, 15, 16 million right now, you would probably have to surrender Wiseman to get him. I'm not doing that. Like, it took 5 or 6 years for Miles Turner to become this, and he's a really good player.
Right.
I think that Wiseman could be a great player.
Yeah, I think Wiseman could be special.
Way more explosive than him.
I mean, you look at the numbers for Miles Turner, and look, he's not a bad player. Is he a star? No. How much does he help the Golden State Warriors in terms of spacing? I don't know. He's not bad.
He can set a screen. He can knock down. He'll get them to the free throw line. He has attributes that do help them immediately.
No doubt. No, Miles Turner, all right, he's 7 feet. He blocks a lot of shots here. I'm pulling him up right now. He got hurt last year. Remember, he only played in 47 games. Average, actually, the blocks were down, or actually up, 3.4 blocks a game.
I think he was one of the top guys in the league in terms of blocks per game.
He was above Rudy Gobert up until he got hurt.
See, there we go.
12 and a half points per game, only 6.5 rebounds.
That's literally what the 19-year-old gave you.
Right. The 19-year-old gave you the same numbers.
With less usage.
6'11", 47% from the floor, 3-point percentage, 33.5. And I do believe that James Wiseman could eventually be a better three-point shooter than Miles Turner.
Absolutely.
James Wiseman looks like he's got a better form as Miles Turner has tried to work on his three-pointer over time. And I get it, bigs, play on the perimeter. What are you giving up for Miles Turner? 14? I'm not giving up number 7 for Miles Turner.
So this is where
25 years old, too.
Can Indiana, maybe Kelly Oubre? Like that, so that's what I would say. Because do that. They got the one guy who was balling in the bubble, Jordan Jr. What was the guy with the dreads who was balling
for Indiana?
Yeah,
talking about
T.J. Warren. T.J. Warren, and then he was out for the year. But they really don't have a lot of great perimeter play right now. Could they use someone like him? Sabonis and Oubre, does that work? I don't know. That's where I'm looking at someone like Oubre, and I'm saying to myself, okay. Oubre, I know you hate it here. I know that we all can't stand each other. Can we try to work something out? I don't know. I don't know if that's an option, but if there was an option to get Miles Turner for a sign-and trade with Oubre, I'm all about that.
I would do that.
In
And you
a
have
heartbeat.
Three-headed monster.
And I'd throw
Wiseman,
in 14 and a future second or first.
So then you
I
have
would.
Looney, Wiseman, and Miles Turner.
Yeah, now you're talking about a legit front court.
I love that, actually. Because then you bring, who do you bring off the bench?
I bring Wiseman off the bench.
Okay.
I would say Wiseman would be one of my scorers off the bench, and then I would have Miles Turner start because Miles Turner running picks and stuff like that off ball. Like I think he'd be a really good player, and also I think he'd help their offensive and defensive rebounding numbers. I think he's a better offensive and defensive rebounder. He played along another guy who was really good as a rebounder in Sabonis.
There's a quote from Kelly Oubre Jr. I'm glad you brought him up. I'm glad you brought up Kelly Oubre Jr. because it looks, the percentage or the chances of him re-signing with the Golden State Warriors is probably less than 5% now. Less than 5%.
I don't even know if it'd be that high.
Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. So, I just had the quote, dismissed it, but he basically said,
not 5, not 6, not 7.
Dude, this guy's all over the place. Kelly Oubre Jr., who I thought was a solid two-way player. I know he got off to a ferocious start. I'm getting my low deal on here. Ferocious start. Atrocious.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a great February. February. He picks it up. He gets hurt. And this is the quote he just said yesterday on a Hoops Hype podcast. I felt like, here's Kelly Oubre Jr., I felt like the universe tried putting me in a box last year. I want to continue to go somewhere that I could spread my wings and continue to grow and be a focal point in the culture. That's Kelly Oubre Jr. on the Hoops Hype podcast.
I like Kelly Oubre Jr. in terms of the confidence. I don't like the self-awareness at certain levels. You have to be confident to get to this point, but you also have to realize you're not that dude, pal.
Right.
Like, have you ever heard the meme? Like, you're just not.
You're
like,
not that guy, pal.
You're not that dude.
Exactly. Like he's just not. Like, again, I like the confidence. Heck, I'm similar. I think I'm that dude, and I'm not. And every now and then, the program director or Bonte has to smack me into place and say, dude, you're a role player. Until he embraces the reality of what his NBA situation is, I think he's going to be very frustrated no matter where he lands.
You know what I say to Kelly Oubre Jr., and I've been a big fan of Kelly Oubre Jr. lately for the Kashasky. I really have. I wouldn't mind seeing him come off the bench next season. But after a quote like that, for me it is, bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye, Kelly Oubre Jr., because the way he's talking, first of all, you're not going to be the focal point of any roster or any team. Even if you go to the New York Knicks, they're looking at Julius Randle. They're looking at Obi Toppin and R.J. Barrett. If you go down to, say, Orlando, you want to be a focal point in Orlando, we're going to win 15 games a season. You're not going to win anything. Go ahead and be a focal point at Disney World. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kelly Oubre Jr., like, his agent needs to come out and say, yo, Kelly, I'm trying to get you the most money here. I'm trying to get you paid, get you generational wealth, something that you already have. But I need you to tone it down. Lay off the podcast. Stay away from Shams Charania. Stay off of Hoops Hype. Stop giving people quotes, because I think he's costing himself some money here with the way he's talking.
What'd he say? The world's trying to put him into a box, I believe is how you put it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull this up, because I saw this last night. I was like, oh, my Lord. I felt the universe. This is from Kelly Oubre Jr. on the Hoops Hype podcast. I felt like the universe tried putting me in a box last year. I want to continue to go somewhere that I can spread my wings and continue to grow and be a focal point in the culture. Like, think about that. The universe tried putting me in a box. What universe was this? Was it, what are we talking about here?
It was that one interviewer named Nick Friedel who kept asking me if I'd be okay coming off the bench.
So I'm going to present a scenario to you.
Come on, man. Kelly Oubre Jr., what's going on?
I mean, he's out of his mind. I told you that. The guy's delusional. Like, it lacks self-awareness. My number one attribute to being a guy who's not an absolute superstar max player is self-awareness. Know your limitations. Like that, to me, that is one of the number one attributes in the NBA. Let me throw this one at you. I don't know what's going to end up happening with this guy. I don't know what he's going to command. Is there a scenario where both Kelly Oubre Jr. and Evan Fournier can be flipped for each other? Kelly Oubre Jr. wants to go somewhere. They're both free agents right now, essentially free agents. Boston has a situation where they might be moving some stuff around. Could Boston be looking for someone like Kelly Oubre? Could you find a third team where you get back Evan Fournier, you throw some picks, you throw some stuff, you move Kelly Oubre to the landing spot of his place? Like, that is where I think if we're going to get anything out of Kelly Oubre, it's not going to be on the court. It's going to be him trying to find his next destination with allowing the Warriors to use that contract to bring something back so we don't lose it for nothing.
See, I try to look at things from the other team's perspective as well.
Yeah.
Like Boston, Miami. These things we all talk about the Warriors,
throw them out there.
We like to throw them out there, but I'm looking at it from Boston, right?
Yeah.
They have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. I'm looking at, if I'm in Boston, I'm saying Kelly Oubre Jr., how does he fit? Well, he doesn't. He's a ball stopper. He needs the ball in his heads. Well, you know what? That takes away the ball. That takes away from Jason Tatum, my best player, from having the basketball.
Who needs to touch the ball more on Team USA?
Right. He needs to touch the ball. He's my future superstar, if not already a superstar.
He is.
And then I got Jaylen Brown, who's on a big-time deal, on a max deal, who also needs the ball at times. Now, he could play without the ball. He could clean up things, clean up the glass, go up for putback dunks, plays a lot of good defense. But I'm thinking to myself, well, Boston, I'd rather go after Bradley Beal.
Well,
and that's a rumor out there that there may be in on the Bradley Beal sweepstakes because Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum, of course, both from St. Louis.
Yeah.
Kelly Oubre Jr., I don't think his market is that big.
No,
I think
don't
he's going to be full this offseason.
Well, and I also think that the Knicks are going to probably throw money at him, and they're so below the salary cap, they might just be able to get him outright and not have to surrender anything and not want to surrender anything.
Oh, my gosh. Kelly Oubre Jr. in the news again. 888-957-9570. Do you Warrior fans? Do you want Bradley Beal? We'll take your calls, and then we'll switch back over to the Giants as Dave Fleming will join us in about 10 minutes here on the Morning Roast.
So I was at a wedding last night, and, my cousin Jack had, I don't know if it was Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. There was one song where that came on. His lovely bride, Katie, played that song. And I was thinking about boy bands, and I don't know why in my head I imagined Kelly Oubre in a boy band. Like, whenever I see him, the way he dresses, the way he acts, the hair, the whole thing about, doesn't he scream boy band?
Yeah, and the way he speaks, the universe. Like, you imagine Kelly Oubre Jr., the way he's talking right now. Like, when you think about what he just said, who's hype? I'm Kelly Oubre Jr., like, I just felt like, the whole universe tried to put me in a box last year. And, I just want to go somewhere and really spread my wings, man. I want to spread my wings.
What is this,
and
Woodstock?
continue to grow. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Am I hallucinating or is that a rabbit?
I mean, like, this guy's probably wearing the cutoff with the choker chain that he had. Remember he had the choker chain on?
With the Pikachu? With the Pikachu pants?
And the long, dangling earring coming out.
What was it called? Was it called Sanrio? The place that used to be at Stonestown for all the girls? Remember, like, the Hello Kitty and, like, Sanrio?
I do remember
like,
the store.
that's some stuff I could see him wearing.
He's a Pikachu guy and all the Hello Kitty. Oh, my God.
Pokemon,
all that. Dragon Ball Z. Is he a Dragon Ball Z guy, Kelly Oubre Jr.?
Is he a Fireball guy? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I just felt like the whole universe was trying. Maybe I'll go to Matt Nahiga, our program director. It's like, I felt like here in my career, 95-70 game, you guys are just trying to put me in a box. You guys, I just want to continue to
What's
grow.
in the box?
Right? What is in your box, Kelly Oubre Jr.? What's in his box?
I think he's taking his last dribble for the Warriors, if we're being honest with you.
Come on,
I would like to know how many times Oubre passed all of last year. I need the advanced numbers on that.
Like the pass, we could probably find out on NBA.com. No joke.
I know.
Somebody out there how many times did Kelly Oubre Jr. pass the basketball? Did he have the least amount of passes per starter in the NBA?
Well, and I'm asking sincerely, what did the Warriors do wrong to him? Like, I'm being real. He got to play the third most amount of minutes on the team. He got a zillion shots. I think second or third most shots on the team. Right. Okay. Like, he got a ton of runway. He started every game but 2 or 3. Like, this thing that I came off the bench, woe is me. Like, dude, like, you're not, like, walking the dusty trail in the early 1900s with no coat on and no shoes. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just don't subscribe to his whole notion that the Warriors did him dirty. I think he's just completely lacks self-awareness.
I mean, the universe tried to put him in a box. Like, and I like Kelly
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Right? Am I
like
wrong here?
No. I look. They make the trade for him. They decide to pay the tax.
Exactly.
They identify Kelly Oubre Jr. as an up-and-coming player. They stuck with him when he was struggling.
Exactly.
Didn't go to the bench when the fan base was screaming, put him on the bench, put him on the bench, put him on the bench. Like, a lot of people were screaming that. It was close. He picks it up. Has some monster games, the 40-point burger, the 40-burger in Dallas, the nice back-to-back against John Morant in Memphis where he played solid defense. So I thought the Warriors tried to put him in a position. Even when he did come off the bench, he still saw 30 minutes a game. He was slashing.
He started, I think, 50 of 52 games. This is off the top of my head.
50 or 55 or something like that.
Okay. Who suppressed him? Like, I want to know no one. No one suppressed him. You know what suppressed him? Him shooting nothing but bricks from the corner 3 spot where he's wide open. Him dribbling into traffic and shooting 40% on layups and dunks. Come on, doggy. He needs to look in the mirror. Mirror on the wall. Who's the wackest of them all? You, Kelly.
Are you out of your mind?
I mean, seriously.
No, seriously. I mean,
guy needs a dose of reality.
I mean, the universe tried to put him. But what a quote! What a quote! I want that hung up somewhere.
How would you like to be Joe Lacob this morning after you paid $80 million for that, and this dude feels like he's been shamed? Get out of here.
Kelly Oubre Jr., who's a potential candidate for a sign and trade, and I'm sure the Warriors are like, look, we try to get you your money. You don't have to play anymore because you can go be a focal point in the culture with, say, the Orlando Magic, say the New York Knicks. Hey, what about Cleveland? Cleveland looks nice this time of the year. Maybe you go to the Cavaliers. I don't know. Kelly Oubre Jr. probably not going to be able to go to State Warriors. It is a Bain answer here in 95.7 The Game. Draft week, training camp, Major League Baseball trade deadline. Your phone calls at 888-957-9570. Your tweets, your text on the text line, as well as Twitch. We got it all covered for you here on 95.7 The Game.
And I'm challenging our audience. We got a great audience. It's starting to grow. Everybody's coming into the tent. Go on the YouTube page, 957 The Game. Click subscribe. It takes 2 seconds. Click subscribe. See what our ugly mugs look like. See the sweet 49er sweatshirt that I'm wearing this morning. And let's do this.
You need to take off the sweatshirt. The George Kittle shirt's better.
I know, but I'm kind of cold in the studio. It feels good.
It is a little free.
Plus, I'm nursing a lot of. I'm tired today. Your boy is tired.
You're tired?
Not really. Wait till you hear this trade. I'm going to fire you up.
That's coming up here.
Sprinkle me, man.
That's coming up on the roast. Don't forget the new Odyssey exclusive stations are curated for sports listeners like you. Find your new summer soundtrack. There are hundreds of new stations for summer barbecues, road trips, working out, or relaxing poolside, which I did a lot of during my vacation. You'll find a huge variety of music stations like Arena Rock, Rock of the 70s, 80s, that conjures up memories of epic tailgate parties, mesmerizing light shows, fog machines, and lighters held high in the air. I can see Kelly Oubre Jr. right now at this Arena Rock with the lighter held high up in the air. You'll find your favorite artists on Odyssey 2 on the all-new Artist radio stations. Check out the new Odyssey exclusive stations on the Odyssey app. Brought to you in part by Macy's and Geico.
I know.
into the 4-1-5, and this game is tied. He's got 11.
I don't think I've ever rooted harder in my life for Giants to hit home runs right now, partner, just to hear that call.
Now, back to the Morning Roast, presented by Timeless Coffee with Kate, Bonte, and Shasky.
Bonte, I'm telling you right now, I have a pledge to the audience. We're at almost 500 subscribers on YouTube. I want to get to 1,000 by show's end. We got 2 hours. Take 2 seconds out. 2 seconds out. Click on 957 The Game. Search it in that YouTube page. You all have YouTube on your iPhones, on your Androids. Search it out. Boom. Click subscribe. It takes no time. See all the sweetest videos, all the dopest outfits that I'm rocking. Check out the banter. Get in the comment section. But hit subscribe. We're at almost 500. I want to get to 1,000. I challenge this audience. I know you're out there. Let's go.
They're out there. They're out there. And follow at your own risk is what I say. Follow at your own risk. If you want more 95.7 content, you want more Shasky content. Shasky going nuts, and he's unfiltered on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. By the way, Kipe, back in the booth.
It was amazing.
Saturday surprising Mike Krukow, NBC Sports Bay Area. That home run call, we all missed it, and we know Flynn missed it. And to have Kipe, because there's a lot to talk about with this baseball team. All right, they salvaged a game against the Pittsburgh Pirates after a riveting series against the Dodgers down to Chavez Ravine. But Flem, good morning. It's good to be back here. And, of course, Dave Fleming is brought to you by the County of Santa Clara and Gordon Plastering. Flem, let's just start there. Seeing Kipe walk into Oracle Park Saturday, and he surprised Kruk. Did he surprise you as well?
Well, we knew he told us, and I say us, John, me, Darren Chan, we sort of had to be in on it just to kind of know what we were going to do that day and know how to set the whole thing up. So we knew a couple days ahead of time, but it was and kind of what we've always said through this is, as soon as Kipe is feeling good and feeling ready to come back and work. And if it's for a game or two, great. And then if you have to take a few more days off, whatever. So it wasn't planned long in advance. He was feeling good. I think I want to work this weekend. But he did want to just surprise his partner a little bit there, and I think he pulled it off.
Yeah, it was a real tearjerker, Flem. I mean, a lot of people didn't have dry eyes after that one because what he means to this Giants community, what he means to the Bay Area. And I was at the game yesterday when they threw Kipe on the Jumbotron, and maybe did it Saturday as well, and he gets a standing ovation. I know Shasky, he talks about Kruk and Kipe all the time, how sometimes they're bigger than the franchise, and you've become part of that roster where you and John and Kruk and Kipe, you guys are almost like the faces of the franchise. And when you lose a Kipe like that, and he's out sick and he's battling, and to come back like that, I think a lot of people appreciate it, and they know what he means to this fan base.
Yeah, well, I mean, heck, those two guys together, 31 years together, 31 years.
Wow.
So, even the longest tenured Giants players, not even close to that. So for Giants fans of many different ages, those two guys have been around through generations of Giants fans. And, it is true in modern sports, not that the announcers are ever bigger than the players. They're not. But we are more constant. In the old days, players stuck around. Now, the Giants have had a few players who have sort of bucked that trend and been around for a while. But it is true that we're around for a long, long time. And so people get to know us and they're familiar with us, and we're a part of their experience of the Giants and part of a lot of big, great moments. So that, there is a natural affinity for fans to just kind of become attached to us in a way that with some players, at least, it's not possible who are only around for a short amount of time. But anyway, it's good. I mean, look, I think the other thing is Kipe, he looks great. He sounds great. He was smiling. So for everybody who just missed seeing him and was worried about him, we tried to tell everybody, look, he's doing fine. He's doing what he needs to do. It's not easy. And but I think for everybody to just see him again and hear him again makes everybody feel a lot better.
Here. Absolutely. Last night I was at a wedding at Cavallo Point for my cousin. I know, a Sunday night wedding. I'm still mad at him. But we had a great time. And, during the cocktail hour, I'm working the room, doing my magic, and everybody is saying the same thing. This Giants team has been special this year. And everybody to a T is like, they're a World Series contender. And I feel like for whatever reason, whether the national or local media has been afraid to kind of embrace that, it's like, look, best team in baseball, so one of the best team ERAs, one of the best bullpen ERAs, leading the league in a lot of hitting categories. We need to reverbalize how we categorize this team. This is a World Series contender. And Flem, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, after the last week of baseball, yeah, the Pittsburgh series left a lot to be desired. Why are we not giving them their just due? This team is great. They're not just good, they are great.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like we have here.
For sure.
I mean, I think we have. We've been saying it for weeks that at some point it's not a fluke when everything lines up. Because you can have in baseball a 50-game, even more than that, stretch where your record doesn't match exactly how you've performed. You win a bunch of one-run games, you lose some blowouts, and all of a sudden, hey, this record looks pretty dang good, but the underlying stuff maybe doesn't support that. That is not the case with this team. All the stuff that you're talking about matches up with a team that is among the elite. The reason people aren't doing it is still because of the preseason expectations and the expectations on this roster. But that's a mistake because they are a team that is a contender to win a championship this year. And some of the other teams that you would think are true strong contenders are showing some weaknesses. Mm-hmm. Not that the Giants are perfect, but, some of those teams are showing some more weaknesses than we thought. So I think it's opened up a little bit in a way. Maybe the sport isn't quite as top-heavy as I thought it was coming into the year. And the Giants are definitely right now in that top tier. And as soon as they get some of these players back, I think, maybe more people around the game will start to say that. Part of it right now, as you look at the Giants lineup yesterday, Giants had no Posey, no Yastrzemski, no Crawford, no Belt, no Longoria. I mean, you could make a pretty darn good argument that yesterday their 5 best players were not in there. Wow. And so that's part of why people aren't talking about him as much here recently also.
Well, you hit on all the guys that are out, and Flores has been really, really good with Longoria out, both with the glove and the clutch at-bats, and obviously Estrada has been a revelation, but the guy that I got a man crush on him this morning. Lamont Wade is just, what a find. And for them to figure out that he could play outfield, a little bit of first base, he's hitting the ball really hard all over the field to all areas. I mean, Dave, if I was looking for the metaphor of the Giants season, look no further than the Sean Anderson trade for Lamont Wade Jr. What an incredible acquisition and then development this has been.
Yeah, that's a heist. I mean, it is. That's just a total fleecing. And, I've started to do a little digging into it because I'm wondering kind of the same thing that you're implying there. It's like, how did they get this guy? How did that, Sean Anderson, how did that work? And so, I think the Twins had kind of a log jam at that position, and they needed an arm. And Lamont Wade had not hit for a lot of power, home run power. He'd had 2 chances at the big league level with the Twins, like 100 at bats. I mean, really not very much, but he'd hit 2 home runs. And so the Twins just basically decided that a couple of their other options for depth were ahead of him on the chart. And so he was expendable. Meanwhile, what the Giants looked at was a guy who had been a really good player in college, not a big, high round draft pick, but a really good college player who could play multiple positions, who in his entire minor league career, and that you're talking about like 4 seasons of minor league baseball. So he climbed the ladder slowly but steadily. He had more walks than strikeouts if you look at his entire career in the minor leagues. The Giants love that. And they believed that he had a swing that could produce power. It just hadn't yet. And so the Giants said, we got all the pieces there for a valuable player, and we can help this guy tap into that power. We can help him hit the ball over the wall. And lo and behold, what have they done? All the pieces are in place. He's a good hitter. He has a good approach. He never gives away an at-bat. He'll draw a walk. He gets himself into good counts. And now the Giants have helped him. I mean, he gets the credit, but the hard contact is turning into home runs. He's got 12 home runs since the end of May.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And bombs.
Leads the team since then.
Right.
And Flem, bombs. No doubt about it. The one he hit above the arcade was a bomb. The one he hit the center, I mean, those are bomb. No doubt about it.
Yeah, and he's, right now on this team, he has made the Giants, the script has sort of been flipped because they're struggling against left-handed pitchers coming into the year. And last year we thought, well, man, the strength of this team, if you throw a lefty against the Giants, they are going to mash you.
Right.
And maybe once Longoria comes back and you've got Ruff in left field and Posey behind the plate on Longoria third and Flores in there, maybe that'll change back. But right now the Giants are having better at-bats against right-handed pitching, and a big reason why is Lamont Wade.
No, he's been unbelievable. And Dave Fleming here on the Morning Roast with Joe Shasky, the Butcher Boy, and Bonte Hill, as he does every single Monday, longtime play-by-play voice of the San Francisco Giants. You guys threw up a graphic on NBC Sports, and you were doing a play-by-play, and 4 years the Giants had players hit 10-plus home runs in the season. Right now they have 8, and that's with Longo with 9, Slater with 9, Duggar has 7. So they're going to mash. But where this team goes in October, it comes down to the pitching. And I think Alex Wood yesterday riding the ship, as he's done over the last 3 to 4 starts, is a very good development for the Giants. The slider looks like it's back.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think to me this week, if you ask me what the takeaways of this week were, Wood in LA wasn't perfect, but he did, he made one really bad mistake. I thought walking Cody Bellinger was the mistake of the game in the game that the Giants lost in LA. Mm-hmm. But it could be that he was just it was a high adrenaline game for him and he was at the end of the line. Maybe he just was sort of fatigued, but otherwise I thought he threw the ball really well against the Dodgers in the midst of a start where he didn't quite have that sharpness that you're talking about. Yesterday he was sharp, and he did look like a guy who can start in a playoff game. And so you combine that, to me, with the way DeSclafani pitched in L.A., and I know it wasn't perfect, and the first inning especially wasn't perfect, but he exercised some demons against that team. Anthony DeSclafani's number one enemy in his career has been the Dodgers. He has not been able to pitch his normal effective way against the Dodgers in his career, and he pitched really well that night. So to me, that's two big developments for not that DeSclafani should shock us because he's having a great year.
Great year.
To do it against the Dodgers, to me, was big for him. Sort of get past that where you worry about, gosh, if we match up against them in the playoffs, is that going to be a problem? I don't think it will be. Kevin Gausman's in a little bit of a funk. But
any concern there, Flint? That was my next question for you. The last 2 starts, obviously Dodger Stadium was rough. He got roughed up by the Pirates Saturday night.
Velo down just a little.
Just a little bit. Any concern there with maybe just some fatigue? What's going on with Gausman?
I think it's more the issue is more his splitter is not behaving right now, and it's a fickle pitch. And Kruk has talked about how Bruce Sutter used to have it leave him for a couple weeks a season where you just couldn't find the feel of it, and so you'd be all out of whack with the splitter. And I think sometimes maybe that even gets you out of whack with the other stuff, and so then the velocity, because the velocity was down, but it was more just sort of up and down. It was more like he was in and out of his velocity. So that tells me that he's got a little mechanical thing that they need to get worked out, and whether that's a grip with the splitter or his mechanics overall. Without that pitch, he's not the same guy. He doesn't have to throw it a million times to be effective, but he's got to have it, and he has not had the feel for it at all. I think his words were non-competitive pitches. You just can't throw – if you're going to throw 100 pitches in an outing, 30 of them can't be easy takes, and that's kind of what it's been here the last 2 starts. I believe he will get it worked out. But right now, that pitch is a problem for him, and he does have to do some work to get it back.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about that. And I want the big-time trade. I mean, I know you and I have gone over this a lot, but I don't even want to talk trade this morning because my big takeaway is, God, Kapler's approval rating amongst Giants fans. I'm driving down the street, I'm talking to people, I'm getting text messages, and I'm blown away. To follow a legend like Bruce Bochy is so difficult. I don't care what the sport is, and especially in this market where we're so homegrown fickle, That's our guy. Good luck trying to replace him. I watched George Seifert win a Super Bowl and never get the love or the appreciation because he followed up Bill Walsh. And in a weird way, somehow a year and a half later, I feel like the approval rating for Gabe Kapler's through the roof, and rightfully so. This guy is so dialed in with his team and with this city and this community. I mean, I can't help but marvel at like the character of Gabe Kapler and how much this fan base loves him right now.
Yeah, he does fit. He fits San Francisco and the Bay Area very well. His sort of moral compass matches, I think, Northern California, and not just that, not just sort of moral political issues, because that, most of the time Gabe isn't weighing in on a lot of that stuff. It's more just like sort of his vibe, the way he talks, the way he thinks, I think matches us here. He's got a little bit of, he's a California native. He loves it here. You can tell that he loves it here. And as you say, we can be a little, San Francisco.
Go ahead, Flip, say it.
Liberal capital of the world and whatnot. We could be a little provincial for all of our open-mindedness. Yeah, we could be a little provincial here, and but we love somebody who loves us.
Yes,
no doubt.
Gabe, yes. Gabe loves being here, and he loves the city, and he loves Giants fans, and he sort of looks the part. You see him in that Giants uniform; it kind of fits. It looks like he's been wearing that uniform for a long time. So I think you're right about that. And then by far the most important part is he's pushing the right buttons. I mean, Giants fans are seeing it because he is actually getting to manage this team. Some baseball managers just kind of fill out the lineup card and maybe walk out there to call in the closer, and that's it. Gabe is mixing and matching through injuries and different lineups every day and pinch hitting all throughout games and using a bullpen in a different way and finding roles for guys like Jay Jackson who've been here for a week. And, he's having to manage the heck out of this team. And for them to have the best record in baseball should be a testament to his abilities to manage, because it has not been a sort of an automatic pilot situation, not at all.
You bring up all the different things that he's kind of changed, whether it's, I'll play Dickerson against a lefty when he wouldn't have done that last year. And out of necessity, he's had to do some things with the bullpen. As a person, on a personal level, I got so much stuff from the Philadelphia media that Gabe is this and Gabe is that. Like, what's the one thing that you think is completely wrong about Gabe Kapler, the person, now that you've been around him a little and have a good feel for who he is?
Well, I would say, the thing, not as a person, but as a manager, he's way more flexible than, he made the move. And literally, it was his first game in Philly, the Aaron Nola move to take him out of the game. Literally the first game of his managerial career, right. And it has followed him ever since.
Yep.
Like, Aaron Nola hit 80 pitches or whatever it was, some really low number. But it was the first start out of spring training, and so the idea the Phillies had talked about it ahead, hey, we're not going to push our guys. It's early in the season. We don't want to get anybody hurt. But he got ridiculed for that, because Nola was like, what are you doing? You're coming out to get me, and the fans were booing him, and then they ended up blowing the game. If they'd won the game, maybe nobody ever remembers it, but the bullpen blew the game. And he got ridiculed. Like, this guy just has a script. All he does is follow the script. He's a robot out there. He's not even watching the game. It's just pre-planned out. That's not the case at all. I mean, Gabe is way more nuanced than that as a manager. He does grind out a lot of pregame prep. He does do a lot of thinking through scenarios and thinking about what pitchers do I want to face, what parts of that opposing lineup. He does do all that, but he also watches the game and is willing to stick with a starter longer if that guy's pitching well, or like you say, trust his gut on a right against right matchup every once in a while, left against left, something like that. But personally, I would say the thing that has been, he has been incredible. This is just a little, maybe the audience doesn't care about this at all, but we still do, even in, where the rules have been lifted a little bit, we still do our call with Gabe before every series. And Gabe he is so good to us about talking us through what's going on behind the scenes and what they're thinking coming up and, injury stuff. And it's not stuff that we always use on the air, but just to kind of keep us in the loop so we know what's going on. It helps us connect with the audience much better just because we can put some context on some things. And he is just relentless with how generous he is with his time, and he wants to spend time with us and sort of get to know us even better. It's just been really a great relationship. We can't thank him enough for what he's done for us because he doesn't know us. I mean, this is 2 years in, he's gotten to know us better, but I've still never sat down and had a beer with him.
Right.
I had a beer with Bruce Bochy every day.
Right.
Does he drink beer?
We had a lot of beer together.
He seems like a red wine type of guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, with the health that he's got going, does he even drink beer? I'm sure that's too many carbs and gluten.
Well, I think he would have a beer. I do believe his beverage of choice would not be a beer, but yeah, I was just using that as a fill-in.
No doubt. I mean, we read the crazy stories about him, like having the ice cream, buying ice cream, and just tasting it and then spitting it out. We asked him about it about a year ago. He said, he can't believe everything you read, but it seems like he is up on point when it comes to his diet.
Well, he's definitely working out.
Yes.
Whatever he's eating, he's working it off. That's for sure.
Flip, I was sitting there. I want to get you out of here because the Pirates made a trade in the 8th inning, trading Adam Frazier to the Padres. Padres have that big payroll and all those stars, and they want to go for it. The Dodgers with Kenley Jansen struggling, Kershaw's injured, Trevor Bauer, who knows what's going to go on with that situation. It feels like they're going to be aggressive. How aggressive do you feel like the Dodgers or Padres will be, and will that push Farhan to make any moves, you think?
I don't believe Farhan is ever going to be reactive. I just don't believe that. That is not how he thinks. That's not how he believes a team should be run. He is not going to just knee-jerk respond to something. He's worried about how can we make our team the best it can be. So that's number one. I don't believe that a move from one of those other teams would trigger a move from him. But I do think that the Dodgers are looking to make a move. And I think, weirdly, it's probably going to be a starting pitcher for them because, I think they're coming to grips with the fact that Trevor Bauer is not going to pitch again this year. Clayton Kershaw, we don't know. The three of us don't know. They probably have a decent idea about what that is, his injury. Are they feeling confident? The last week has to rattle them a little bit in the bullpen. Their bullpen really hasn't been great. Maybe they think, hey, look, we're going to ride it out with Kenley and try it in one more time and see where it goes. But they might think that they could use some help in the bullpen after the way this week went down. So I do believe the Dodgers will start target some pitching. I think the Padres will make at least one more move. It's hard for me to believe that they won't. This guy's just addicted to trading. He can't help himself.
Yeah, no doubt.
And, it's exciting, but I think if you went back through the list of all the trades that the Padres have made, some of them have really not been good.
Yeah.
And some of them have been, but he's not batting 1,000, that's for sure. So we'll see how that happens, but I think the Padres will make a move. Here's the thing to keep in mind with the Giants, and this, I won't ramble on here, but Farhan, what the Giants do is identify not what other people think is our greatest need, or do we need a hard thrower, some sort of convention, like you have to have a hard thrower at the end of the bullpen. I think they kind of agree with that in principle.
Right.
It's better to have strikeouts at the end of the game than leave it up to maybe the ball getting put in play and you get a game in a big spot where you get some bad luck. I think they agree with that in general. But I think he's much more likely, and he and Scott are much more likely to say, what is the weakest part of our team right now, and how can we fix that? And that might be something that we don't focus on. It may not be as high profile as the night.
What do you think that is, Dave?
Well, I believe that right now they are vulnerable against left-handed pitching. And you have to believe that Evan Longoria is going to come back and be 100%. To believe that that's going to just be magically fixed by what's going on. Right now they're having to choose a left-handed hitting outfielder every day, even with Slater playing, at least one, sometimes two, against a left-handed pitcher. And, they also have Crawford, who's going to play almost every day. Not that Crawford can't do it, but they are not quite as platoon balanced against left-handed pitching as I think they'd like to be. Now, if Bell comes back and he's totally ready to go, Darren Ruff runs out to left field, maybe that's good enough. Maybe that's your solution right there. But I could see the Giants trying to find one more right-handed hitter who can mash a little bit to fit this roster. That's kind of what I'd be looking for.
Well, another fun 3-game set coming up with the LA Dodgers at Oracle Park. That begins tomorrow night. Flem, it's always good catching up with you. Exciting times here in San Francisco with the Giants in first place. 2 games up on the Dodgers, 3 in the loss column, and the Major League Baseball trade deadline coming up Friday, 1 p.m. West Coast time. Flem, take care. This is going to be a fun series coming up, man. Giants-Dodgers, never gets old.
It will be, and today's a great time for an off day.
Yes,
just to recover and take a deep breath and rest a little bit, and then look. By the time we talk next, maybe we will have a trade or two to talk about. And the Astros are coming in, and instead of the Pirates, it's the Astros. So the Giants are going to really have to guard against the Dodgers letdown this weekend because we saw it for 2 games. There's no doubt about that. So this is just a very big week for the Giants coming up all the way around.
Flem, take care, man. Always good talking to you. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Okay, great. Thanks.
He's the best.
Dave Fleming, play-by-play voice of the San Francisco Giants. There. He's presented by the County of Santa Clara. You can get vaccinated now for free at any of the drop-in locations, including Eastside San Jose, Downtown San Jose, Gilroy, Mountain View, Sunnyvale, and much, much more. Call 211 or visit sccfreevax.org to find a drop-in closest to you. And presented by Gordon Plastering, the Bay Area's best for plastering, drywall, and fireproofing. GordonPlastering.com. What's up, Carl? Gordon Plastering. Good people there.
Okay, so I want to react to something he said about the trade deadline, and I want to correlate that with an MLB.com article that just came out this morning, and it gives you the needs of every team in baseball and what they should do at the deadline, and we'll react to what he said. But first, our audience is great, and I'll begin there in 2 seconds. Our audience is the best. They really are. They are already throwing a party on YouTube right now, and we are halfway home to the 1,000 subscribers that we need. John Curley, hop on. Again, take a minute right now. Stop what you're doing. I know you're streaming on Odyssey app right now.
Twitch.
Just, if you're on Twitch, whatever, just go, scroll over to YouTube, click on that app right there, boom, log in, search 957 The Game, click subscribe. It's effortless. It costs you nothing.
We're live
it's
on YouTube.
Free content injected into your veins. John Curley, we're trying to get to 1,000 by 10 o'clock. How many subscribers do we currently have?
Joe, as of right now, we have 483 subscribers.
483. So
we lost 17?
We need 513. 513 people need to come out there. Come on. I know our audience is the best. Bay Area.
They lose 13 because of the way I'm looking, man.
Let's go.
I promise, man. I'm on the Peloton.
I know.
Log in, subscribe. By the way, I just pulled up. Yeah, I pulled up the YouTube.
Hey, the comment section. The comment section is going wild.
Twitch. So now I have Twitch.
Yep.
YouTube, text line, and phone calls.
We're like a diner, okay, that's got the laminated sheet. We've got a little bit of everything. You want to listen on the radio? Fine. You want to listen on Odyssey? Fine. You want to watch on Twitch? Fine. You want to watch on YouTube? Fine. We have a little bit for everyone. You want breakfast for dinner? We've got that too.
Wow.
Now let's react to Dave Fleming because he said that Farhan Zaidi is not going to do what everyone thinks he's going to do.
Not going to be reactive is what he said.
Exactly. Now, MLB.com just put out, the trade deadline approaching, what every team should do. Should they sell? Should they buy? Who they should be looking at? Now, I look over at what the Giants should be getting, and this is from MLB.com. The Giants should absolutely trade for Craig Kimbrell. They've got the best record in baseball. They need to bolster their club. And here's the thing. If you dig deep, yes, they need a right-handed bat, and we'll get into that. They desperately need a bullpen arm that absolutely shuts down righties.
Oh, man.
That's the hole right now.
Dude.
McGee has been better than Rogers against righties.
Been good. Hasn't given up a run since May 31st.
But you look at the splits between the 8th inning and the 9th inning, both Rogers and McGee aren't as great as you'd like. Kimbrel is as lights out against righties and in that 9th inning as anyone that you can get. But I'm going to go a step further because to me, this is 1997 all over again. We've talked about the 97 team. 93, they almost make the playoffs. They don't. They fall short the next couple of years. Obviously, there's the strike. But the 97 trade set this organization up for 20 years of we go for it at the deadline.
Every time. Every single season.
And what it did to that 97 team spurred the 98 club, spurred the 2000 and 2001 and 2002 teams and 03 teams that were all playoff
trade? Was that
squads.
Danny Darwin, Wilson Alvarez, and who else? There was one more.
Jose Hernandez.
And
they also traded for Joe Carter a little later. They splashed big. And now I want something very similar to that. I want Craig Kimbrel, and I also want Chris Bryant. And look, it's going to cost. This is a World Series contender. Take the names off. Bonte, take the names off. If I just told you, best record in baseball, most home runs in baseball, third best bullpen, but they don't have a legit closer, what would you tell me that team needs to do?
To go get a closer, and I think it's a great time for Deal or No Deal, baby. Deal or No Deal on the morning roast. Where's that phone line? Give me that phone call. I need a car, Farhan. This is Jed Hoyer. I'm Jed Hoyer of the Chicago Cubs. President of Baseball Ops. Hey, my secretary, whoever my secretary is.
Is there
I need
a
you
phone?
to call Farhan.
Do we have a phone?
Yeah, we got a phone in a second here.
Okay.
Where's my phone line? We're gonna go through some things
Call
here because
me on my cell phone.
you know I'm looking at my Cubbies here. And my Cubbies are struggling right now. The Milwaukee Brewers are running away with the National League Central.
Wait, so time out.
Right now, I'm 9 games away. I'm 9 games out.
Let's set this up because I'm a little confused.
All right.
I'm Farhan.
You're Farhan.
And Scott. Okay.
You're Scott Harris, Farhan, and Larry Bear.
Gotcha.
Right?
Let's do this.
I am Jed Hoyer.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Farhan? How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man, Jed Hoyer over here from the Chicago Cubs, man.
Tough year this year.
Oh, brutal, man. We're 49-51. I've got to re-sign Rizzo. I've got to re-sign Chris Bryant. I don't know what to do with Javier Baez. But I got this closer by the name of Craig Kimbrel. Now, I'm going to switch it up here. I called you about a month ago. And I proposed a deal, and you basically said no deal. You hung up on me. You hung up on me.
No deal.
Look. By the time the Giants come around to Wrigley Field in early September, I want to see some of my guys in your uniform.
Okay.
I respect your organization. You got things buzzing over there at Oracle Park. I saw over 30,000 against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I know.
30,000 against the Pirates.
Larry Bear's really good at like making that stadium feel new with the 415 Club. It's pretty cool.
It is pretty. You got that fan out there too, the Red Rifle. What's his name?
The Red Rhino.
Yeah, the Red Rhino's got that bullet, man. It's too hot in Chicago for bullets right now. It's too hot out here in Chicago for the bullets. So, Farhan, I got a deal for you here.
Give it to
Look, last time out, I wanted Joey Bart, Kyle Harrison, and Austin Slater.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot.
But you know what? I'm going to ask for those same 3 guys. And I want you to throw in another dude.
Okay.
You throw in Patrick Bailey.
Whoa. For Krimble?
But I also will sweeten the pot.
Okay.
And I got Chris Bryant here.
Yeah, I'm
Chris
doing
Bryant.
the deal.
Chris Bryant, Craig Kimbrel. I want Joey Bart. I want Kyle Harrison. I want Austin Slater. You know what? I may even want Steven Duggar, too.
That's fine, because Duggar, as much as I like him in center field, I'll throw him away in a heartbeat if I can get myself Chris Bryant. Yeah, I'll absolutely do this deal. In fact, I will drive to Chicago right now in my Toyota Prius, and I will swoop them up.
Now, Farhan, I got to tell you. I'm not sure about Chris Bryant re-signing with your organization. He wants to test the waters. He wants to get paid.
Yeah.
Now, I've talked to him about re-signing with the club. He says no dice. No dice. If you trade me, I'm going to play it out and see what happens after the season.
See, what you don't have is something I do have. You hear this? This is a blank check from Larry Bear, because we know what doing business with Scott Boras looks like, and it's expensive, and it's a good thing we got Oracle to plaster $300 million worth of material on the front of our stadium, because I got a blank check for Chris Bryant, and we need a guy who can play multiple positions and be the power bat. And guess what? I don't know if you know this. We've been saving money here for a long time.
Payroll looks nice over there.
A lot is coming off the books. I mean,
Well, Mr. Ricketts over here in Chicago, he's kind of handcuffed me here, so I can't really spend the money. Hey, Farhan, sounds like we got a deal of a hang up.
Yeah, I'm going to end it right now. I want this deal.
Deal. I got one more.
Steven, are you doing that deal?
Steven is
Curly,
doing that deal. They're doing that deal, no doubt about it.
I'm doing that deal all day.
No doubt about it.
I mean, what Patrick Bailey, as much as I like, who knows? What is he in, like low single A? I don't even think he's in San Jose.
He got demoted. He got demoted from
That's what I'm saying.
Eugene, the high A team at Eugene, and then went to San Jose. Yeah,
I'm dealing him.
Curly, what about you?
Doing that deal all day, Joe.
Thank you, boss.
Hey, Langford, we got one more phone call. I think Farhan's phone is buzzing. Farhan's phone is buzzing again.
Office of Farhan Zaidi.
Hey, how you doing, Farhan? Mike Rizzo here from the Washington Nationals.
Riz!
What's up, man? Last time out,
Tough year.
Yeah, I mean, you say the least. I mean, we're 45 and 53. We're about to be in last place soon. I don't know what's going on out here in D.C. Our run differential's awful. We lost 4 in a row. We've got no pitching, but we do got one guy.
Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Before you finish that, let me just push this. I was watching 957 the game on YouTube. Continue with what you were saying.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, I hear out there that's a great station. It's the sister station of 106.7 out here, the Fan in D.C. 95.7 the Game in the Bay Area. That's my go-to whenever I land out there. And last time out, we went to the water bar. Actually, we canceled plans because you didn't want my deal.
Yeah.
But I still got
I'm
a
not
deal
big
for
on
you.
oysters.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Bay Area has great seafood. We also have great seafood out here on the East Coast, man. We go to Baltimore, we get those crab cakes.
The soft shell.
Scrumptious. Last time out, I wanted Luciano, Hunter Bishop, and Sean Jelly for Max Scherzer and Daniel Hudson. Now, there was a report yesterday. Somebody blew my cover here. But Mike Hawk blew my cover on Twitter saying the Nationals have informed opposing teams that there's in sell mode. All-star Mike Scherzer's on the block. Dodgers and Padres are among the teams that have engaged the Nationals in talks to acquire the 3-time Cy Young Award winner. Now, that didn't come from me. However, Farhan, we are looking to shop because business here in Washington, it's not booming.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, I know.
We're not
the
going
Orioles
anywhere.
are like taking some of your market share.
Orioles just swept us. We got swept by the Orioles.
Sad.
Yeah, we got swept by the Orioles.
And Washington football's going to start up pretty soon. Woo.
Yeah.
You're like the 14th best thing out there.
We got swept by a team that's 34 and 64. So, yes, we are shopping Max Scherzer.
Okay.
But I haven't picked up the phone when it comes to Andrew Freeman and those busters in San Diego. Matter of fact, I don't want to do business with the Dodgers.
Nobody likes them.
I liked beating them a couple years ago in the NLCS, winning our first World Series.
They're arrogant.
Yeah, they are very arrogant.
And this guy Magic Johnson's always screaming in the background very obvious things that everyone already knows.
Dude, this is not basketball. This is baseball.
I know.
Why do I want to deal with Magic?
I know.
I want to deal with you, Farhan. You're the next wave. You're the face of baseball when it comes to
Sucking
all
up
GMs
always
and
helps.
president of baseball operations. So I've got Max Scherzer back on the block. I know you're not going to give me Luciano.
Maxie Two Eyes.
But what about Hunter Bishop and Jelly? And give me Austin Slater.
Well, wow.
For Max Scherzer, I'm telling you, Max Scherzer, he's got a triceps injury right now. He's day-to-day, but the MRI came back clean, and this guy is filthy. And for a 2-month stretch, this guy can be your ace. You slot Gosman down to number 2. You slot Alex Wood down to number 4. And you got D. Sclafani as your number 3 starter.
so
and you got a
Scherzer-
wild card of Johnny Cueto.
I know who Scherzer is. Explain to me who you want. What guys from me?
I want Hunter Bishop.
Okay, lefty outfielder that I'm not really high on, and I got a lot of left-handed pop right now, and he's been struggling.
Sean Jelly.
One of my higher prospected pitchers, even though we haven't really done a great job fulfilling those he's like my 7th best player in my prospect list right now.
We need pitching.
I know you
Everybody's
do.
beating us up.
Jelly might be a few years away.
All right, give me Jelly then.
Okay,
we can
how
use a
about peanut
prospect. Give me some jelly with that too. We want peanut butter jelly.
You know,
Depends
I'm
on the peanut
doing
butter.
this deal-
But is it almond butter or is it peanut butter? Because I'm an almond butter guy.
Well, I like almond milk, but I'm doing this deal because you know what? I really need a hog down the stretch, and I'm worried about what's going to happen because if we go into a wild card situation, I might burn Gosman and be done. I absolutely need a 1-2 punch.
But you know what, too? I need some major league talent. I need Austin Slater. I need Slater. Can you give me Austin Slater, please? Pretty please.
I mean, is there any way that we can... You know what? I think I can do that. I think I can do that.
Deal.
Deal.
Max Scherzer coming to the San Francisco Giants. There it is. Mike Rizzo, Farhan Zaidi.
Here's the problem with Slater. Just reality check. I'm not Farhan anymore. I'm Joe Shasky. Slater might get DFA'd anyway.
Rizzo.
I mean, so he deserves an opportunity at a big league club. I just don't think it's here.
Well, what about Mike Tauchman?
I mean, Tauchman. And you know what, though? You know what? I kind of respect the organization for finding a way to squeeze some money out of that veteran minimum. They had him pitching the other day.
Yep, I know.
He got lit up like a Christmas tree, but he was pitching.
2-4-0. I know crab cakes are from Baltimore, and they're off the chain. But I'm saying, D.C., we're about 40 minutes from Baltimore. I can get over there to get some crab cakes.
Absolutely.
And go get those crabs from the Baltimore Pier and bring them out here to San Francisco.
McCormick's is out there, too, the spice company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does.
Hey, I got to be real. Crab cakes are hella good.
They are great.
A nice warm one, too.
They are awesome.
They're hard to share as an appetizer dish because I want to eat the whole crab cake. Like, there's nothing where, like, when they give you 3 of them, okay, but when they give you one giant one, I don't know. It's just, I have a tough time sharing.
I'm not sharing crab cakes. I'm not sharing crab, period. Soft shell crab, hard crab, roasted crab.
Okay, how many crabs does he know here? That's what I was waiting to see how far his crab knowledge is going.
Give me an answer. I'm going to take a mile, bro. All right? That's what's happening here. Giants, deal or no deal? Do you want to say
I'm doing these deals?
Also, we got to get back into the Warriors. 888-957-9570. Warrior fans, where you at? It is draft week. It is a Bay-nanza all week long at 95.7 Gabe with training camp, the MLB trade deadline Friday at 1 o'clock, and the NBA draft coming up on Thursday. Warriors with numbers 7 and 14. 2 lottery picks. Do you want Bradley Beal, and what is it going to cost?
This is a bigger offseason than even 2016 because 2016 you were in your primes, you had a lot of pieces. This is make or break. This is a huge offseason for the Warriors.
888-957-9570. You in out or Bradley Beal? Your phone call's coming up next here on The Roast.
Don't miss Damon, Ratto, and Kolsky in the afternoons.
Yay!
From 2 to 6.
For those who are saying, James Wiseman, I don't know.
into war. We got a big fan base. Like, I'm being real with you. The more and more I go out and about, I'm like, damn, man, I didn't realize how much of a movement this was right now. And everybody's asking me about all the different trades. And there's tons of Giants trades. But the one that a lot of people are talking about is the Beal or no Beal. Not as in deal or no deal, Beal or no Beal. And I can't get over this for this Warrior offseason. This is huge because this is either, hey, what you do this offseason is going to catapult you to championship contention, at least at some point in the next couple of years, or, yeah, the door's kind of shut and you made the wrong decision, right? Doesn't it feel like that?
It does.
Like, doing that deal all day, Joe.
There's no in between.
Beal or no Beal.
Reset the Beal thing for the
Veal
audience.
or no Veal. Deal or no deal.
Hey, I'm going to be real with you. I had Veal at Westlake Joe's about a week ago. Me and my wife went golfing, and then in the afternoon, we had like an early dinner. Like, I felt like I was a senior citizen because I went with the Veal, and it was kind of like, the little early bird special. Oh, my God. My. It was like a Veal scallopini type thing. And I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling y'all, Shasky eats with the one percenters. He eats with the one percenters. Truffle oil. Now we got veal.
Have you had veal?
I have not had veal.
Hey, when it's sliced thin and pounded down.
Oh no, I've had it.
It's delicious.
I
basically baby calf.
Man, I want to go to Westlake Joe's now. 888-957-9570.
Hey, they listen.
Veal or no veal. Beal or no Beal. Deal or no deal. Well, Westlake Joe's, the Dugans, man. Come on. It's my family right there.
I coached many games against Grandpa Dugan.
Dude,
the legend.
Great. The legend. Brad Dugan court over there at City College, San Francisco. His nephew was his name with the SI and USF.
Yeah, that's his son, Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was his nephew.
No. Mr. Dugan's son. Yeah, Joe. He's out there. Big guy. Very taller than you, in fact. Not taller than Hunter Pence, though. No, Hunter Pence is a giant.
Hunter Pence is jacked, too. He's jacked. He's got the mohawk on. He's got the hair flowing. By the way, you can listen to us on the radio, as you said.
Yes.
On the app, and watch us on Twitch and YouTube. Twitch and YouTube. We are everywhere, and the listeners are everywhere. The listeners are everywhere. I'm looking at YouTube right now, and the comments is just out of control right now. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with the text line. I can't keep up with Twitch. I can't keep up with YouTube. This is 2 months coming off of vacation, Jasky.
And I know I want to get into Bradley Beal, but you're wearing the Trey Area sweatshirt already.
It's going down. Shout out to Sheed from Warriors World. By the way, we got a dilemma with the Warriors World Tournament.
What?
So the Warriors World Tournament's coming up. And she hits me up on Twitter last week. Goes, yo, we had to move the date.
What?
So the Warriors World Tournament is the day of the Niners-Packers game at Levi Stadium
come on.
Week 3. And so I text some of the guys. Say, Guru, dude, I don't think I can make it, man. It's Packers-Niners. It's a night game, Sunday night. Statement game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's after the gotta have it game and the trap game in week 1. This is the statement game in week 3.
Come on,
Warriors World wants to move the tournament to a Sunday. So I'm like, what are we gonna do, Goo? Goo said, I still want to play. We gotta have a team out there. So I'm going to cede I'm gonna actually resign as the GM and president of basketball operations for Team 95-7.
Oh, thank you, Jerry Colangelo.
And I know. Look, all I do is bring championships. Actually, Colangelo didn't bring any championships. But I prefer myself as a Jerry West, not Jerry Colangelo. But Guru's going to run the squad. But who's going to play?
Oh, my God.
It's a Sunday.
No.
Nash Solomon, Phoenix Sun, Nash Solomon, Solomon's Sons, lost the NBA Finals, said, it's football day. It's no way I'm playing.
Exactly.
It's no way I'm playing. So Team 95-7 may be out of the tournament. May be out of the Warriors World Tournament.
But they did have a point.
Have you ever watched Above the Rim?
Of course. One of the best basketball movies ever.
Okay, for those people
Better
that are
than
out
Hoosiers.
there, there's one character, Marlon Wayans' character, Boogaloo, where basically he thinks he's better than he is. That would be Guru running your team.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. So you're saying
excuse me.
You saying Guru's not Birdie? You saying he's not Birdie?
No, he's not Birdie. Okay? There's no way in hell. I'm curious.
Zucci Man says he'll rep the station. I don't even know what Zucci Man looks like. Can you play Zucci Man?
I like that
Or should we
name,
just go out there and trot out Danny Fry or APD? Should we trot out Kyle Madsen? Should we trot out John Curley?
Would you trade everyone here at 95.7 The Game for Bradley Beal to make one appearance in the Warriors World Tournament?
Doing that deal all day, Joe.
I would do that deal all day, too. I would do that deal all day, too.
That was the greatest sentence in John Curley radio history.
Doing that deal all day, Joe.
888-957.
Hey.
9570.
If you come with a horrible call, I might hit you with the doggy. We've got a couple of doggy drops. You were gone. Alex Pavlovich came on, and I hit him with a doggy. You got to hear what. Come on, doggy. I hit him with one of those.
I like that. I actually like that drop a lot.
It is.
I
It's
like
a good
that drop
one.
a lot. Every time I see Pavs on TV, and he's a partner now over to NBC, I'm like, Pavs, just wake up a little bit, man. Oh, yeah, Giants are playing some good baseball. Yeah, they're in first place. Like, Pavs, how excited are you, bro?
We're about to
I have a terrible memory.
He does. We're about to get to the to these calls because people are already lining up. I mean, people are going crazy about Bradley Beal. I want to give a shout out to this guy Carlos. Okay, Carlos in Sunnyvale. I put it out into the ethos. This shows you the audience. I'm being real. Like, our audience is so sick. I go, yeah, I'm looking for a PS5. Like 7 or 8 different people hit me up
Within
you begging,
minutes. Were you begging for one, or were you?
Kind of.
Yeah.
And because I'm kind of shameless.
Yeah,
anyway,
you are.
I threw it out there. And Carlos hits me up. And now I didn't know. I'm thinking 50-50. I'm either going to get robbed in the middle of nowhere or this guy's going to deliver, right? Or I'm going to buy myself a lemon. Like, I had no idea. But I got to give a shout out. Carlos,
man.
if you're out there, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Not only does he meet me halfway, I meet him at the Crystal Springs Shopping Center. I feel like I'm doing a drug deal where I come with a bunch of cash. I have my brother meet me there because I was going to take him to the wedding. And he shows up. Carlos, he's in a sweet F-150. He was doing some shopping.
Wow.
Yeah, he shows up, super cool dude, has the PS5 with the controller. He got the full plug, didn't charge me over the top prices. I'm about to hook him up with some Niner Raider tickets.
Oh, wow.
I'm about to buy him my personal stash, come out of pocket. I'm about to get him set up. But if you could help me on them Niner Raider tickets, throw them to your boy so I could throw them to Carlos.
Wow.
But either way, I do want to shout out Carlos, 408 Carlos. That's the man right there. PS5, I'm unboxing it after the show. I haven't even opened it yet.
All right, so baby Chaz is getting older. He'll be 8 months, August 4th. Your boy's been itching for some video games, and the new Madden's going to come out. And we'll get to the calls about Bradley Beal. Stay on hold. 888-957-9570. They're lighting up. We'll get to you right now. I need that new Madden. Devontae Adams is now on 99, and Devontae Adams is posting like the Last Dance photos on Instagram.
Yeah, but he ain't Pippen.
You know what, though? Yeah, he plays like Jordan. Hey, you know what? I kind of want him in San Francisco. He's gonna be
I
a
would
free
love to
agent
have
next year.
Devontae.
And Devontae,
East
you
Palo
want out?
Alto online,
East
too.
EPA, come on, man. Come back home. Come back home, Devontae. Come on home. But that PS5, I mean, you have to hit up Oscar. He's on the 408. He said, I hear you, brother. Thanks. Oscar.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's dope.
Thank you, Carlos. And for real, I'm going to do the PS5 unboxing on YouTube. I might do it on the 957 The Game YouTube channel.
Now, real quick. Now, did you pay in straight cash?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Did you Venmo,
Straight cash, homie.
Check? Nothing?
Straight cash. Oh, yeah. Your boy had some
So
crispy
you put out the
hundos.
pocket, you just had it like...
Well, I had it in my backpack. I brought a bunch of cash with me because it's a wedding.
Oh, you did
I didn't know if I...
backpack?
Yeah. Well,
So it's just straight cash in the backpack?
I had it
rolled up?
Yeah, I had it,
That's
at the
pretty gangster.
Mitsubishi, pulled in. I pulled out the backpack. He probably was looking at me like, this guy, look, what a
Dude, so
clown.
that's like guys who go to the strip club with the backpack and they got just the money in the backpack and they just start throwing ones
I'm
out
not
the backpack.
Floyd Mayweather.
I mean,
it wasn't Gucci. I mean,
what you got a backpack? What's it, JetSport? What are you doing? All right,
come on.
The James Harden of buying video games.
Hey, on the real though,
957-9570.
trying to get a
Bill.
PS5 was harder than the Warriors trying to get back to the championship. Shout out Carlos.
It is hard. Shout out to
He's
Carlos
a real
there.
one.
Let's go out to Jonathan in San Francisco here on the roast.
Beal
Get
or
us
no
back
Beal?
on track. Deal or no deal. Beal or no Beal. Veal or no veal. Jonathan, you're here on the roast.
Hey, no
Hey.
on proposition Bradley Beal. Last time I checked, the Warriors have rebounding problems. We need a big guy, man. Go after Miles Turner, and if they're gonna go through the draft, find a player or two. Hopefully, Bob, don't draft for potential, man. The core players, Steph, Dre, and Clay, they need help stat like right now.
So what are you doing right now? What is your proposition here, Jonathan? No on proposition
Miles
Beal.
Turner.
Miles Turner?
Yeah, we need a big guy. You know who won the NBA championship just a few weeks ago, a big dude. Guys, man, Draymond Green needs help. He can't do it himself anymore, man.
I hear you, Jonathan. Good call, man. It's good to hear from you on my first day back.
Speaking of Draymond Green.
Yeah, we need that. Yeah, Jonathan.
Speaking of Draymond Green.
He's got more jobs than me on his damn soundboard.
I know, for real. Draymond's mom tweeting during the USA.
Did you see that?
I did.
She's been in hibernation for a while.
Yeah, I'm going to refrain from talking about Draymond's mom just because
I want to talk about
it's a
mamas.
no-win zone for me. But I'd say this. That fourth quarter for that USA team was as sad a fourth quarter as I've ever seen, and it had a chef's kiss with Dame Lillard falling on the ground as the final possession goes right through his legs. I mean, hey, I'm going to be real with you. I told you this. Stop sending the best of the best. We aren't sending the best. There's one great player in Durant who I'm cringing at every turn who's going to get his leg taken out by somebody. And JaVale McGee is an all-star. No, excuse me. An Olympian. An Olympian. JaVale McGee, who had 2 feet out of the NBA a couple years ago, is an Olympian. And God bless JaVale. I love him.
Grant.
Jeremy Grant, come on. He's like the 5th most qualified Grant in that family line to be on this current version of the USA team.
Keldon Johnson.
Get out of here. You know what we should have done? I'm being real.
Draymond Green is an Olympian for the second time.
Even if they win it all, they're going to get crushed anyway because they didn't win sexy enough with enough style points. I'm out on Popovich. I'm out on Colangelo. I'm out on all of them. Send a 22 and younger squad.
What about 24?
Okay, fine, 24. I want LaMelo. I want Zion. I want all the young guys. Put Cade Cunningham on this team. I want all the young guys.
Let me ask you something. Why isn't Zion on this roster right now?
It's a great question.
Brandon Ingram.
Where's Tim Roy? Boy, that's a great question.
Where's Brandon Ingram? Why isn't he on this roster?
You got to be kidding me.
Why isn't Jason Tatum getting more touches?
I don't know. I don't
love
know.
Tatum.
Boy, that's a great question.
They're suppressing how great Tatum is. And Popovich is so salty. I'm so out on Popovich.
Yeah, I am too. But Joe Varden, the guy who's asking all these questions where Popovich got salty a couple of weeks ago at Joe Varden asked JaVale McGee, hey, I don't know, is your mom still around? It's like, what?
Wow.
What? They didn't teach us that in journalism school. How about you cite your sources, buddy? But no, seriously, like you got Zach LaVine getting crunch time minutes on Team USA. Zach LaVine's a fine player. He should not be playing in crunch time for Team USA.
But this is my bigger takeaway on that, and I want to get back to the Beal thing. There is no upside. You win the ring, you didn't win well enough. You didn't win in a sexy enough fashion. To me, there's no upside for all of our super. Take it out of their hands. Look, I know Durant wanted to be a gold medalist. I get all that. I'm sure Dame Lillard did too. If you're not going to send the best of the best, then you need to take it away from them. And you need to just make it a fun 23 and under team. You want to get the hardcore, I got to play like my pants are on fire. Put all the young guys out there and sick those kids on the rest of the world. I'll live with it.
They've lost 3 games, 2 exhibitions, Nigeria, Australia.
It's
just
apathy.
Lost yesterday to France. Evan Fournier is like, they got great talent, but they don't play together as a team. They can be beaten as a team. By the way, Luka dropped 48 last night. 48 for Slovenia. Luka's a bad boy here. Let's go to Duriel in the city. Duriel in the city. What's happening? Good morning. You're on the roast. Beal or no Beal?
The thing is that he plays the same position as Clay or Steph, and they haven't been able to get it done. That's the fact of the matter is Curry hasn't been able to get them back to the playoffs for 2 years, no matter what the reason is. And Clay is going to be playing on one leg. He's not going to be the same Clay, and I'm not sure he's going to make it through the season. I'm not sure he has what it takes anymore. I'm putting it out there. And Draymond Green, trade barbecue chicken Draymond Green for Bradley Beal, the number 2 scorer in the league, and bring him over here. I don't know what you people that never played basketball before are talking about, but Curry needs help.
Duriel, real quick. Duriel, you're fired up, man. Maybe you got the timeless coffee. Maybe you got something extra in the timeless coffee. Where'd you play hoops at?
Draymond Green is going to tweet his way into the Hall of Fame.
Hey, Duriel, real quick. Duriel, real quick.
That's the greatest line ever.
Take a breath, Duriel. I'm asking, Duriel, whoa. Where'd you play basketball at, Duriel? Where'd you play basketball, Duriel?
No talk.
All right, Derry, you got to go, man. You're out of control right now.
Hey, when he said he's going to tweet his way into the Hall of Fame,
save that drop.
That's pretty funny. I'll save that for anyone who tweets too much.
Hey, I will tweet myself into the Bay Area Radio Hall of Fame. You better bet your bottom dollar on that.
I mean, come on. I seen some fraudulent hosts out there. When I get in, I want my plaque next to yours. Hey, dog, stop latching on to other people. You ain't done nothing in this industry other than beg to have your job back. Get out of here, dog.
By the way,
speaking of barbecue chicken.
By the way, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Station. Go back and listen to Dave Fleming. He's on with us for 20 minutes breaking down the Giants. Download the Odyssey app right now and listen to the interview. Also, you can listen to Duriel rant about Draymond Green tweeting his. For some reason, I knew Duriel was going to get to Draymond Green. He always does. He starts off with the Splash Brothers, say they've done nothing. He's getting fired up as the more and more he talks. You ever just talk to somebody and you just start getting ramped up? You just start getting ramped up, and then all of a sudden it's like, Duriel, can you answer a question? And he's just going off on Draymond.
Okay, so what are we going to do this week? Are we going to break down prospects? What are we expecting to happen here? Are we right now, today's Monday. The draft is Thursday, 5:30. Right. Give me the sounder. Doosh, doosh,
the
ESPN. Yes, okay. The clock is ticking.
It seems like something's going to plug.
I know.
Under the table
it's okay. It's okay, Kiefer Sutherland. The clock is ticking. Are you, right now, if you had to make a bet, I gave you $100, the Warriors trade both picks away, they execute both picks, or they trade the 2 picks to select one player. Where are you putting your $100?
Doing that deal all day, Joe.
Ooh, I don't know where I'm putting my $100 at. I kind of feel like they're going to move one of these picks.
Okay,
man.
okay.
I kind of feel like they're going to move one of these picks.
See, I think that they select at least one player on Thursday night. So whether that means moving a pick and getting a veteran or whatever, or moving 2 picks to move up, or moving a combination of future picks plus the 2 picks to move up. If I were to put my $100 right now, today, again, it's Monday, things can change. It's not them trading it away for a max player and packaging. It's making at least one pick. I don't know where that pick will be, but I think they make at least one pick. That, to me, is the safest of the 3 bets, but I don't think any of them is a safe bet.
No doubt about it. Let's go to Casey and Moran. Good morning, Casey. Beal or no Beal? Deal or no deal? Veal or no veal?
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm actually my knowledge of what the Warriors should do, I'm not a NBA front office person like every other person who calls me. Come with a different take. Having lived through Chris Cohan and Robert Rao, I am so excited that the Warriors are in this amazing position that they are, having so many trade assets, in addition to having a complete and top-tiered front office. Like, the excitement that I have, they're going to be involved in every trade chatter. They're going to be involved in every draft chatter. We haven't had sort of excitement about this much new things happening to the Warriors franchise in years, and that's what I'm excited for most. But if I had to guess, there's no way they're going to be able to trade away the next 8 to 10 years by trading Wiseman and the 2 draft picks away for the next 3 years. He's a very successful businessman. They are not going to mortgage.
I'm totally with you.
For 2 or 3 years. Go Dubs. Go Dubs. Go Dubs.
Casey, call back.
Good call. Hey, look, I hear all that from Casey. He makes great points, and I'm with him. I don't want to see them mortgage their future. But what happens is Steph Curry walks into the office of Bob Myers and Joe Lacob and says, you know what? I'm not here to wait on rookies. I don't care who they are. If it's Jalen Suggs, if it's Evan Mobley, if it's Book Knight from UConn, if it's Zaire Williams, if Davion Mitchell from Baylor, I don't care. I want a star. What does Joe Lacob and Bob Myers do? Do they listen to Steph? Is that the only guy you listen to if he demands something? Are you listening to Draymond and Clay, or are you just listening to Steph? And what if Steph does demand something? I mean, that's got to be tough on Lacob and Bob Myers.
Well, with the impending extension, still hasn't been signed or executed.
Right.
Curry's got leverage. of all the players who has ever had an opportunity to be like, yeah, I want something, and you probably would have to listen, it would be Steph Curry. He's built up that kind of an equity. It still is a discussion. Just because he wants something doesn't mean that it's plausible, because of a lot of these guys don't know the nuances of trading, of the financial ramifications, of the different things that happen, the options. Like, hey, we trade away all of this. This is what we're left with, you know? And so I assume that they're going through every single little detail with them. And I bet you still Steph Curry wants to have some immediate help. But he never strikes me as the type to be like, my way or the highway. He's never really done that in his career. I got some breaking news coming up here.
News.
Yeah, but we're going to hold off on this. We're going to hold off on this.
Why? Is this big news?
Madden has released its rookie ratings, and Trey Lance's overall rating has come through the docket.
Where's he at?
Okay.
Where's he stacking
From
up at?
the SF Niners, my boy Brad, who does a great job on that Instagram page. Madden 2022 rookie ratings. The 8th highest rated rookie in Madden EA for the 2022 game, Trey Lance.
What's his overall rating?
74 overall.
Oh, you got to build him up.
I mean, Garoppolo was a 79 by year's end last year.
What is he right now? What is he right now?
I don't know.
How many Niner fans are going to sub in Trey Lance for Jimmy Garoppolo as soon as they get the game?
Did you hear what his confidence level is? 0.
Who's?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, stop. Why you got to do that, man? Why you got to do that, man?
I mean, come on.
Come on. Why you got to do that to Jimmy
Do you
G?
live for the rookie ratings on EA?
I do.
I do too.
I do. And I look at the first attributes I look at is speed.
Of course.
Awareness.
Of course.
And
agility.
and if this guy's got like a 70 speed, he's playing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. When I get the PS5 and I buy Madden, Trey Lance will be starting quarterback for me on my roster.
Oh, wait, timeout. Wait, so the Jimmy Stan of all Jimmy Stans is going to be starting Trey Lance in the video game.
It's video games, dog. I need to run pass option.
Do you fire Shanahan immediately? Is that the first thing you do as owner of the 49ers?
No, I take away that extension, though. He's a year-to-year. He's a year-to-year coach. 888-957-9570. Anthony Slater, our 95.7 The Game Insider, coming up in 9:30 to talk about this big week for the Dubs. Who's a bigger week for? The Giants or Warriors?
I think it's the Warriors. I think the Giants are pretty solidified as I call them a World Series contender. Even if they have a subpar week, which, let's say they go, 2-4 or something this week, right? They're still right where they need to be.
Right.
The Warriors, one move can really, really, really help them. A subtle move can maybe help them down the line. A bad move can really, really, really hurt them. Heck, it could be no move whatsoever, and someone just gets hurt. Clay gets hurt in an offseason workout. Just basically hamstrung the entire season last year. So the Warriors are in much more of like a timetable scenario. Like they're trying to race against the time. Even though I don't think it's that dramatic, it still feels like this offseason is going to really make or break this second, third act for this organization.
I agree with you there. Let's continue to dive into this. Anthony Slater at 9:30. We got to run. We'll be right back. It's Joe Shasky, the Butcher Boy, Bonte Hill, because I do think the Warriors, I think there's a misperception about where the Warriors are at right now today. I want to discuss that on the other side.
And subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on,
right.
We only got an hour left. I got to get a couple hundred. We're really close.
Where are we at right now?
YouTube,
Where we at?
957 The Game. We're over 600. I can get there. We got to get to 1,000.
Get to 1,000 by 10 o'clock here at 95.7 The Game.
Listening to Steiny, Guru, and Dibs is easier.
You're going to remember the Wilmer Flores knocking out Kenley Jansen for the first time in Giants history in the middle of a pennant race in Chavez Ravine. Come on, man.
I have a terrible memory.
With Kate, Vontae, and Shasky.
I love Pabs. Man, he looks so sleepy on those commercials. I shouldn't even be saying this before they fire my ass. Man, Pabs. Giants, Dodgers, and Chavez Ravine. I'm sitting there in Lake Tahoe. I'm driving back to the city thinking, I should just come into work. Forget the vacation. I should just come into work. I mean, these games are riveting. Hell, I fell asleep on the last one. Last game, right?
Oh.
Last game, Walker Buehler's stealing.
Yeah.
He's shutting the Giants down.
Oh, yeah. Shoving. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, you know what? They leave with a split. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You leave with a split. I'm cool with that.
Yeah. All that champagne.
By the way, I got to tell you about the boat ride. I thought I was Klay Thompson, dude. I thought it was Klay Thompson in Tahoe.
Gilligan?
No, it was no Gilligan's Island, baby, where I was smashing. So I'm watching the game, and I fall asleep. Walker Buehler's dealing, and he goes 1, 2, 3, top of the 7th. I said, you know what, Giants ain't got it tonight. It's all good. And I'm sitting there in bed. I'm like, I clonk out.
Yeah.
I wake up at 3:55 a.m. Aaron Rivera. You know Aaron Rivera. He's a Dolphin fan, a Dodger fan. The guy's just confused.
Okay.
He used to work here in 95.7 The Game.
Oh.
I'm looking at my phone to see what time it is.
Does he subscribe to our YouTube page?
He better.
Yeah.
Aaron Rivera, you out there? He's on Twitch all the time.
Okay,
but he's
good.
been ducking me since the Giants won 3 or 4.
Okay.
He's been slow to respond.
A Dolphin Dodger fan.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, hopefully he's subscribing. 957 The Game on YouTube.
And I think he's from Monterey.
Oh,
he's
that's
from
okay.
Monterey,
Good
so
for him. It's
whatever. Right?
The cannery.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. You got the great aquarium. So I'm sitting there at 3:55. I'm like, why is he blowing me up?
Oh.
And it's like, go have your parade now. Jansen sucks. This and that. And I'm looking at Twitter. And I got, me, I get up in bed. I start looking at Twitter and looking at the scores. I said, the Giants came back?
Yeah.
Giants came back in the ninth for the second straight night against Jansen. So I take the MLB app. I watched the entire ninth inning over at 4 in the morning. And I said, you know what? I should just call Shasky and Covey, dude. I should just call him at like 6:30, give him my take.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I went back to sleep. You got to take advantage of it. Baby Chaz is
come on, doggy.
I mean, I missed those games. I wasn't anywhere for those games.
Hey, your boy was hyped. I mean, Giants, Dodgers, you missed it. Honest to God, I mean this. That was the best Giants-Dodgers series since the Bochy going out to the mound, or excuse me, I guess Don Mattingly going out to the mound twice and Bochy catching him. Like, seriously, that down in L.A., for me, for my money, that was the best series since then.
Down in L.A.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Best Giants-Dodgers series since Brian Johnson hit the 2 home runs. Or, excuse me, the game, extra inning game where he hit a home run.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great series.
Absolutely.
I mean, that Giants-Dodgers are back. That rivalry's back. And these games. Now, I will say this. To your point, we've argued back and forth about this, about the games being too long.
Mm-hmm.
Giants-Dodgers are starting to become Red Sox-Yankees, where these games are lasting 3.5 hours.
So, wait, are you coming around?
I don't mind a 3-hour game. But when you're going 3 hours and 40 minutes for a 9-inning game, your boy has a problem.
Thank you.
Your boy has a problem with that.
Will you at least admit to me this? If you are hell-bent on keeping the 9-inning format, which, okay, fine, I'll listen to you. Game's got to start at 6.
Got to start at 6.
Right?
Got to. Give me 6 o'clock starts.
I mean, it's just too
I'm all
late.
about that.
It's
I'm all
too
about that. They're starting at 7:05 or
It's
7:10
too
at
late.
Dodger Stadium, and it's just slow.
It's too late.
And I get the drama. I get the build-up. But all these dudes, Max Muncy, Justin Turner, they take their time in the box. They're so arrogant and cocky. I can't stand these guys. They step out of the box. They're doing all the stretches and stuff. Bellinger with his little hairdo and headband. Dude, get in the box, swing, strike out, and get your ass back to the dugout. I'm so sick of it. You cannot, like Yankees-Red Sox, what made that rivalry fizzle to me was it was too long.
Yeah.
The game started being too long.
Well, and it was redundant. We kept seeing them on Wednesday Night Baseball, on Sunday Night Baseball, every single week. I was done with it. Doesn't Bellinger, like, I don't know if you've seen the He-Man remakes that are coming out. There's a cartoon, the He-Man remake, where it's now on Netflix. I watched a couple episodes, not bad, like whatever. I was a big He-Man kid, you know?
Yeah.
And Skeletor is the main villain of He-Man. Doesn't Bellinger got a Skeletor look to him right now? He looks malnourished. Something doesn't look right with him. No, I mean that. He doesn't look right. The jersey's super baggy. It's always been baggy, but it's super baggy. He's uppercut swinging on everything, and he always had the high swing up launch angle.
Yep.
But like he don't look right.
The buggy whip. I mean,
he's batting 150.
Look, he's bad, dude. He's awful right now. He's awful. And the headband with the hair. Just go get a haircut. Sometimes getting a haircut just refreshes you and helps you out. He's got the little headband.
Yeah, he thinks he's Samson.
I don't know who the hell he
Bible.
thinks he is.
Yeah.
He's not hitting the ball right now. Max Muncy going crazy. Now, I did get a kick out of that. Watching that game over.
Muncy in the dugout?
Muncy in the dugout.
Great.
Ticked off. Ticked.
How great.
But I'm watching that game. Jansen was getting gifts left and right with strike calls.
Oh, dude.
Bueller was getting gifts.
The 2-0 strike call on the slider.
It's rough.
Oh, it was a horrible call.
How do you award a guy like that when he has to throw the strike in 8 pitches?
No question.
And you just give him a strike when the ball's 4 inches off the plate?
I know. My favorite part of that whole inning was not just the Darren Ruff getting a great call. I mean, just a great call on basically what should have been strike 3. It was Lamont Wade Jr. after Doc Roberts just goes crazy throwing the hat. By the way, the suntan above the eyebrows was absolutely hilarious.
Now Dave Roberts.
Black guy below the eyebrows, white guy above the eyebrows.
Right. Now Dave Roberts running out of the dugout. He's sprinting, right? I'm like, man, this guy could still steal second and third base, right? But he picks up the hat after throwing it. Just let the hat roll around.
No, it's a great prop because you can like demonstratively like slam it in someone's face, and it's not as bad as the finger point. I don't know. There's something great about that in baseball because you don't see that in football.
Right.
I was saying, like, could you imagine Belichick rocking football gear, going out and finger pointing into a referee's face for a holding call? There's just something beautiful about baseball. But my favorite part was after all that fracas, you see Lamont Wade Jr. go up there. Quiet, calm, swinging at the first pitch. I mean, it was just an incredible. I wanted to lick as I do the tongue thing, lick the tears off of Dodger fans' cheeks.
By the way, that right field. Who's the right fielder?
Oh, McKinney.
McKinney.
Yeah.
Because I kept thinking, if Mookie Betts is out there,
he makes that play.
He's making that play.
Standing up.
And there's another play earlier in that series. I want to say game 3.
McKinstry didn't look good either.
He didn't look good because the Giants had a triple. They didn't score on it. I think it may have been Yaz, but he misplayed it. And I'm thinking, man, thank the heavens Mookie Betts is not in that lineup.
One, and this goes back to my Giants thing, which I know everybody's like, oh, the Giants, look at the Dodgers roster. Watch the Dodgers play. This is not their year. I know their record looks good. I'm looking at a team that is literally put together with duct tape and Band-Aids. They are way more depleted than even the Giants. Their best players right now, obviously Max Muncy.
Right.
Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor's like one of their best players right now. And he's just not a shortstop. Like they're missing Seager.
I do like Taylor.
I do too. I do too. I like him a lot. But I don't believe in the Dodgers right now. I think the Dodgers are going to get into the wild card and they're going to lose and they're going to complain all year and they're going to say, oh, Trevor Bauer and this. It's just not their year. They got a World Series hangover right now. This is the Giants' year, and this is why they have to go all in because when you have the amount of wins that they have this deep into the season, you're fooling yourself to think that this is replicated next year or the year after.
You're with me now. You want to see them make a move.
I've gone 180. I'm all the way on your side. I have to be.
No, I'm with you.
That Dodgers series to me proved you are one of the best teams in baseball.
Dude.
You're a contender. World Series or bust this year. Why not?
Wow. I you know what? I love that. I love that line of thinking here because I'm thinking the same way. This championship's up for grabs.
That's what I'm saying.
looking at the National League. Okay, we just talked about the Dodgers
NL
being
East
beat
is
up.
a joke.
They're an absolute joke. Mets are a joke.
Thank you.
Braves are hurt. They lost Acuna Jr. They have no pitching. Nationals
by
are
the
selling.
way, that's a devastating. Just for as a baseball fan, because
Yeah, I
you've been
know.
gone for 2 weeks.
I know.
That's a devastating baseball injury.
Trust me, my fantasy team is hanging on for dear life without that guy. But it is not only just for fantasy purposes.
Yeah.
This guy's a 40-40 guy.
I know.
He's one of the 5 best players in baseball.
And swagged out.
It's swagged out of his mind.
Yeah.
Shades, yellow cleats. The Braves miss him. You look at the NL Central. The Brewers. The Brewers are good to me. That's the one team you got to look out for.
Yeah.
They're deep with their lineup. They have good pitching.
Good
they have
bullpen.
great flamethrowers, great bullpen. And I'm looking at the updated World Series odds. Giants open the season at 60-1. And we'll get to Slater in just a second. Right now they're at 12-1. 12-1 to win the World Series, plus $1,200. You bet $100 on the Giants to win the World Series, you'll win $1,200. That's where they're at right now. So, the American League, we're going to see the Astros this weekend. The Boston Red Sox are good. Tampa Bay's still good. But the Giants are one of the 7 best teams right now in baseball.
One of the 7. They're like one of the top 3.
Dude, go get a player.
I totally agree. And that dugout needs a jolt, Monte. Did that not look like I'm watching that? I'm not going to lose my mind over the Pirate series.
Right.
But didn't that dugout feel like it needed a jolt?
It does, man. They're hanging out for dear. Like, can you count on Longoria to be healthy?
No.
Can you count on Belt to be healthy?
Well, I think he's played his last game in the Giants uniform.
Wow. We got to get to that a little later. Buster Posey.
He's had a great year, but again, you can't play him every day. If you want the best of Posey, you got to play him 3 out of every 5 or 6 days.
Can Crawford reclaim that magic he had in the first half of the season with the bat?
They said he's ready to go soon. The oblique is something that he's been managing for a long time under the radar. He wanted to actually play earlier. We talked to Dave about that last week. They're trying to see how many games they can squeeze out before they really desperately need to bring him back. To me, August 5th is, obviously a week after the deadline. That's the day La Stella might be back because he started his rehab assignment. Longoria might be back and Crawford might be back. That's the big one. But I'm a little worried about the starting pitching right now. The next Kevin Gausman start to me is extremely important. And the deadline is so close. I don't think I wait until see what Gausman has in that next start. I think you have to get proactive. That's
you got to make the move now, which is why I wanted to make a move a few weeks ago. But now's the time. Now's the time, Shasky, to make some moves here.
And I don't trust Cueto.
Oh, no. How can you? By the way, it's still in second base.
I mean, hilarious.
This guy.
Him running is my favorite thing. You talk about Doc Roberts running. Watching Johnny Cueto run the bases, he runs like a ballerina because he's got like the twinkle toes and the hair's flowing and the guts out. He should play on my beer league softball team.
His helmet always flies off, too.
It
always flies off, and he's like laughing, and the way he chooses his gum.
Oh, it's great.
Dude, he's a hoop,
He blows bubbles while running the bases. Who does that? What are you in, like T-ball?
He's great, man. All right, let's bring in Anthony Slater, our 95.7 Game Insider. Anthony, man, a big week in the NBA. But I got to ask Anthony Shasky about the Cleveland Guardians. How are you feeling about the Guardians?
First of all, you juiced me up on my Monday morning. You're sitting here talking Giants rotation. I'm like breaking down prospects 7-14.
Let's go.
Some Kevin I kind of sense a little Kevin Gausman hate, which surprised me a little bit.
Well, I'm a little worried about the velocity and the splitter. It's just not working real well right now. I mean, what can I say?
A lot of spin rates across the league are going down.
This is why Anthony's a baseball guy. I know he's in basketball, but I know you know your baseball. Anyone from the 707 is a baseball guy, and this is what I'm talking about.
The Guardians, though, Anthony. How you feeling about the Guardians?
Sorry, I was trying to ignore that.
You ain't got to, Anthony. You want to flex on your baseball knowledge? I know you know your baseball. We all know that. You know hoops. You know everything, Anthony. I know you wanted to flex.
But he was an Indian fan, so that's why you're asking about the Guardians,
exactly.
Correct?
Yeah,
You're really inside radio.
Yeah, our audience here on YouTube, Twitch, the Odyssey app. Whether you got the old school radio, Anthony Slater, somehow, some way, is a Cleveland Indian fan. And the Cleveland Indians just changed their name to the Guardians.
Yeah, longtime fan, back to, 95, 97, the Tomei years, into, the Major League movies. So, I mean, you're obviously losing, I guess, the heritage of that name. But I completely understand the reason for it. I think we all do. I was kind of rooting for the Spiders.
Me too.
There's some history there.
Right.
And, they had, Tom Hanks do, a 3-minute Twitter video explaining the reasoning for the Guardians nickname. I'm sure I'll come to be fine with it after a few years, particularly if they win. It sounds weird now. I would have preferred Spiders. But at the same time, when the Toronto Raptors said they were the Raptors, that probably sounds like the weirdest thing ever.
Right.
Now it's just, we're just used to it.
Yeah, no doubt. And we just say the Raps. Hey, the Toronto Raps or the Raps or whatever.
No one says that.
I say the Raps.
We had a team, the San Francisco Spiders. It was a hockey team that I used to in my neighborhood, Cal Palace, Viz Valley, Excelsior. Shout out. And they had some sweet jerseys, but the logo for the Spiders I thought was going to be sweet. I liked the Cleveland Spider idea.
Yeah, you could do webs in the stadium. You could do a lot of stuff with spiders. And, we talk about kind of frightening mascots. That's one that's not used enough.
Yeah, I agree. And I did like the San Francisco Spiders with the old Sports Channel logo on the jersey.
They were dope.
Oh yeah, they were pretty fire. All right, what are the Warriors doing this week, Anthony? Big week for the Golden State Warriors. Huge week, 7-14. Beal or no Beal? Let's just start there.
Yeah, start there.
That's a great, term, right? Beal or no Beal. I might use that on the website. I asked Bradley Beal. He's the one that seems to, control this process right now. And I mean, all the reporting out of DC, including from our guys at The Athletic, is he molded a bunch over the weekend. And he knows that the decision on next season, on his, immediate future needs to be decided before the draft, just for, roster planning purposes for all franchises involved. But the thing is, particularly with Beal having one season remaining. He has 2 seasons remaining, but it's a player opt-out. He can opt out basically 11 months from now. He kind of controls the process because any team he doesn't want to go to, he could just say, look, I'm not resigning. Why would you trade everything for me if I'm gone in 11 months? Or the team that he does want to direct himself to, he can essentially say, I'll come and sign an extension. Obviously the Warriors star players have made it known, as our Marcus Thompson reported first, that Beal is the target they believe is potentially obtainable and a guy that they believe fits not only the timeline but just the style of play. And I think there's maybe some convincing going on behind the scenes, or attempted convincing. And as Woj also said the other day, I do get the sense that if the Beal stuff doesn't come to fruition in the next 72 hours, I do think they use 7 and 14. And I, at this point, still think that's the most likely scenario.
Okay, I agree with you. Just on the Beal thing, if they surrender Wiseman, Wiggins, picks for Bradley Beal, are they closer to a championship?
Yes, if Bradley Beal's on the roster next season instead of James Wiseman, Chris Duarte, and Moses Moody, let's say.
And Wiggins.
They're a better team. And Wiggins, yes, they're a better team, I think. I mean, Bradley Beal can, score it. Now, I could hear the argument of, okay, you get 15 to 20% closer to a title. Is that worth, gutting your future? Maybe. I mean, if you actually win the title, the Toronto Raptors, who did it for one season of Kawhi Leonard, although they didn't they didn't give up as much of a package because Kawhi Leonard had committed to re-signing, but they would say, yes, that one season where Kawhi Leonard came, they won the title, they got over the top, was worth it. Milwaukee just did it with Drew Holiday. I think Bradley Beal, while different than Drew Holiday, is a similar type of impact player. Bradley Beal, I think, is a better defender than he's shown over the last few seasons. He was actually considered a very plus-level defender earlier in his career. And obviously, he's a 30-point-per-game scorer. You would have the 2 top scorers in the NBA last season on the same roster, Beal and Curry. They are a better team next season with him, regardless of who they give up. But I know they're going to try to not give up the full haul.
95.7 The Game insider Anthony Slater here on the Morning Roast with Joe Shasky, the Butcher Boy, and Bonte Hill. So, say hypothetically they trade for Bradley Beal. Are the Warriors comfortable when Klay Thompson returns at playing Klay Thompson at the 3, playing him at small forward? Because that's basically what you would have to do to fit in Bradley Beal.
Yeah, it's 2021. You can win weird ways. The Rockets, 2 seasons ago was P.J. Tucker was their center, or you could even say Russell Westbrook was basically the center. They went completely 5 out. I just saw a Clippers Suns series that went 6 games where it was Terrence Mann, Patrick Beverly, and Reggie Jackson were out there at the same time, 3 tiny guard lineups. And they were giving the Suns problems, and they probably would have beat the Suns if Kawhi Leonard, their main core piece, was also there playing extreme small ball. You can do it different ways in the modern NBA, and the Warriors just kind of got to pick away. Yes, the idea of Wiseman and size is great, and I do think they would love and still expect to have Wiseman long term as he transitions into maybe a tiny role player next season into the starting center beyond. But at the same time, I think the way you would score with Beal and shoot with Beal, Curry, and Thompson, and try to survive defensively with units that include, Draymond at center, some JTA out there, just kind of doing gritty stuff. You'd have to scheme well, but that's a Ron Adams dream to have to scheme some disruptive small ball with transition style where Bradley Beal and Curry are jacking 15 threes a game and Thompson's running the wing. That'd be a fun team, and they would be a very tough out, even if you can maybe beat them up on the offensive glass, something like that.
All right, so you kind of hinted at it, but if I gave you $100 right now, and I was going to say, here are your 3 options. One option is they trade for Bradley Beal. The other option is they execute 2 draft picks on draft day. The other one, and the third option, is they somehow only execute 1 of the draft picks on draft day. Where are you putting your $100?
Well, on what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
They use 7 and 14.
You think they do? They don't trade both 7 and 14 and something else to move up a little?
No, I don't think that'll necessarily be available to them. I don't think Toronto's sitting there at 4 going they'd rather have 7 and 14. I think Toronto will be happy with either Barnes or Suggs up there. There's tiers in this draft, and it clearly drops off around 6 or 7. So I don't think 14 helps you jump up. And
they are comfortable at 7 and 14. I think 7. I think they're coming to the realization that the upside play makes more sense there. That's why there's more Jonathan Kuminga noise, which I think there's kind of a stunning sense in the building that he actually might fall to them, whereas like 4 months ago he was viewed as like a top 3 prospect, basically. I think Book Knight's an option. I think Moody is kind of the middle play of like an up. He doesn't have quite as much upside as the others, but he's 19. He does have a higher ceiling than maybe like a Davion Mitchell, and I think he could help right away. So I think one of those 3 down there they're comfortable with, and then they're sitting there at 14. I could name you 5 guys I think they would be happy to get potentially at 14 that they believe can help next season and juice up the rotation just as much as like a veteran free agent would be. So I don't think they're desperate to move off 7 and 14. I just think they know that's the ammo they need if Beal becomes available.
Who are those 5 guys at 14, Anthony?
All right. I think there's a chance Davion Mitchell falls to 14. And suddenly, the conversation we've been having, like, is it worth it to take him at 7? That becomes moot. And then, like, that's a really good value pick at 14.
I do like him a lot better at 14 and 7.
Yeah, no doubt. So he's one if he falls. I think Corey Kispert, there's a chance on draft night he kind of tumbles down there, and suddenly you just got a 42% like shooter that, in the West Finals he might get targeted and exploited, but
Capono 2.0, baby.
Hey, if there's going to be 32 regular season games where he comes out on fire and goes like 3-3 in the second quarter from 3 and breaks the game open, like that's worth it.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But okay, yeah, I think Duarte is the most likely guy at 14 because I do think Mitchell's probably gone. They love Duarte. He's been in for 2 workouts. The name kind of rising up everybody's board, including their own Trey Murphy. He was in for that same workout against Duarte yesterday. He's kind of a taller version, 6'9", a little younger. Doesn't have as much off the bounce stuff, but I think he's an option at 14. If I had to guess right now, I would say Duarte, though.
Do you think Steph Curry signs this extension this summer when he's eligible?
Yes. I think August 6th, I believe, is the time he's eligible to sign it, and yes, I do think it happens. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of pressing the gas pedal or testing them a bit, but knowing Steph, knowing just the symbiosis between franchise and player, and where he's at in his life, I think by camp he's going to want it signed and kind of cemented that. I mean, he's with the Warriors the next 6 seasons or so.
I want to rat-a-tat-tat you real quick. Just yes or no. Very simple. And if you have a sentence that you want to throw on them, are they on the Warrior roster come October 1st? Okay, Jonas Jerebko.
No.
I was just throwing that in there. Just for fun.
Like, what?
Nico Mannion.
On a 2-way, yes.
Okay, Eric Paschall.
Yes, I believe he's only making like 1-point-something million.
Yeah.
That could change with a Beal deal, but assuming no Beal deal, yes, I believe so.
Alan Smilagic.
Can I say hell no? Is that proper to say?
Totally appropriate.
Yeah. What about Kent Bazemore?
That's a good question. It depends on the market. I'm going to say no because I do think he played 41% from 3, good defense. I think he played himself potentially into more than the minimum and maybe more than 1 season elsewhere. Okay. And if he gets that, I think the Warriors would 100% take him back on a 1-year minimum, but I just don't think that's what he's searching for.
Yeah, all right. Last one for you, Damian Lee.
I'm going to guess no.
Okay.
And that's probably the swing roster spot, and it'll be dependent on if they do get, a Batum and, something like a Rudy Gay or something takes a bargain, and, Aaron Baines or some center. Like, he's kind of seems to me on the fence. It could go either way, but he's, he doesn't have a guarantee, which is very important here as we talk about it.
Yeah, every time I think of like Warrior randos off the bench, Jonas Jerebko comes to mind, and I always like throwing that name out there to hear everyone smile and laugh a little.
Well, Anthony, our first text here at 415, Jerebko tipped it in. Remember that Utah game early in the year?
The Jerebko
Team
game.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
That was legendary.
Legendary.
Almost as legendary as Omri Caspi.
Oh, boy.
I was about to bring up Omri Caspi. I mean, Jonas had more moments than Omri.
Absolutely.
He did have some moments.
Pat McCaw.
Pat McCaw, no doubt, no doubt. Real quick before we get you out of here, Anthony, we do thank you for the time this morning. Anthony Slater, our 95.7 Game Insider, here on the Morning Roast. Team USA. What's going on? We got Draymond's mom tweeting. Draymond saying, we need to get stops. Well, it looks like they need to get buckets. And Draymond's mom saying he needs to play at crunch time. Team USA, man, what a weird, random roster. Are they winning gold?
I'd still say yes. Oh, by the way, how about Draymond tweeting at the Warriors' official Instagram account to, like, put more Draymond Green stuff up?
Yeah, what was that? What is going on with Day-Day?
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on, but, you know. I'd say yes. I mean, I think the talent level and the comfort will eventually come. I mean, you saw it yesterday. I know they lost, but, like, Drew Holiday changed the complexion of the roster. I mean, he was awesome, and I do think it's him, Booker, even Middleton getting comfort. They're suddenly a much deeper team. I mean, I think their next – who else is in their group? It's like Iran and somebody else.
I haven't even checked.
Come on, man. We're talking about the Iran basketball team. We're worried about – I mean, jeez.
Anthony, I can't even find the damn game on television, man. I had to get the app.
I know. I went to the Peacock app. But, yeah. No, I mean, the other two teams in their group are, like, you know, far below France level. So I think it's pretty, like, guaranteed. They'll win their next two. They'll get into the medal round area where it's like one game elimination. I mean, you saw Luka for the win. We had like 48.
Yeah.
France obviously has proven they can beat them. Australia's dangerous. They beat them in an exhibition game. I was actually at the game. They lost to Mike Brown in Nigeria.
Oh my gosh.
Where you could see the problems kind of coming to the surface. But if I had to bet on it, and I think Vegas would agree with me, they remain the favorite.
You know, 4 years ago, 2017, you know, both feet out of the NBA, JaVale McGee, to all of a sudden Team USA player. Like, if that just doesn't speak volumes on where we're at, Jerry Colangelo, take a hike.
Well, he is going to take a hike. Grant Hill's coming after this. You know, let me tell you, though, JaVale's an upgrade from Kevin Love. I was at the game Kevin Love got about 4 minutes in.
Great point.
It was not pretty.
No, stock down on Kevin Love.
Oh, the Warrior fans want him to be bought out and come immediately to be the Golden State Warriors' second-best player.
Stock down on Kevin Love. Stock down on him. JaVale McGee, now a Dream Team. Keldon Johnson, really weird. Where's Zion now?
Grant?
Weird team. We'll see what they can do, though, in the Olympics. Anthony, always good to hear from you. We'll continue to read your stuff, man. Good stuff as always, Anthony.
All right, fellas.
Anthony Slater, 95.7 Game Insider here on 95.7 Game on the Morning Roast with Joe Shasky and Bonte Hill. Team USA, real quick. We got about 7 minutes here.
Did you see the Draymond Green hook shot?
Oh, my gosh, I did. Oh, my God. I'm not trying to laugh.
No, it was horrible.
Like, what is, like, all right, Draymond Green.
You ever play horse with, like, a 5-year-old, and you do a hook shot, and you're looking over them, they can't even get the ball up to do a layup? That's what it looked like.
Are people scared? I don't want to say scared. But if we're talking about Bradley Beal, at this point, who'd you rather have on the roster? Andrew Wiggins or Draymond Green?
Are you asking me?
I mean, yeah. I mean, but seriously, it makes you think. It makes me wonder.
It's closer than people want to admit. I would put it that way. Look, obviously, both, when you talk about the two of them, they both do a lot of things really well, and both have some shortcomings, you know? The area that this team needs desperately is on the offensive side of the ball, because I do think they're a pretty good defense team because of Draymond Green and because of Wiggins. They need shot making and playmaking in the half court. And Draymond does not do either of those particularly well. Everyone looks at the assist numbers, and I say the assist numbers don't tell the full story when it comes to playmaking.
Right.
Like, assists are not an indicator of can you help get yourself and others buckets when things get constipated.
It's easy to get assists when Steph Curry's running off screens, bombing from 35
feet. And you're holding
feet.
The ball and only going to throw to him coming off of a double screen.
Exactly. Dude. Like, Draymond Green or Andrew Wiggins. Like, we're talking about all these trades for Bradley
Draymond's
Beal.
A made man, though.
He is a made man. I get it. But you may have to do him like Paulie on Goodfellas. You know what I'm saying? Because he's done some things and be like, you know what? You're out of control right now. Like Paulie was on Goodfellas. He's just whacking people left and right. Well, Draymond's like going off on the Warriors' Instagram account. He's going off on the Instagram account. Whoever's running the Warriors' Instagram, poor social media coordinator. It's got to sit there. It's like, oh, well, I guess I got to get Draymond up here for the next 5 days.
Because he's trying to tweet his way into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, my gosh. Mary Babers Green.
You got to give me the drop on that one. I thought we had one.
Tree. We'll do that. She's trying to tweet herself into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Up 8 with 3 minutes to go. Draymond has to be in the game. Period, in all caps.
Oh.
I said what I said, and don't at me. Minor adjustments needed ASAP. Then she later on tweeted, with Dre on the floor, they don't get either one of those 3 threes. USA better get it together, or they are going to be playing for the toilet bowl trophy in the Gus Macker. I don't even know what the Gus Macker is.
Is that like the Bush Bowl from back in the day?
In the Gus Macker?
Texans, Niners?
888-957-9570. What the hell is a Gus Macker?
I don't know. Well, did you know Mary is going to put out her top 5 coaches of all time? You know, and it's going to be like Red Auerbach 5,
Tom
Popovich
Izzo.
4, Phil 3, and then obviously
Tom Izzo number 1?
No. Her 2 and 1.
Leave her alone.
Or
man.
maybe Draymond's 2 and she's 1. I don't know.
We love you, Mary Papers Green. We do love you, but Team USA on the brink, and Draymond's mad at the Warriors social media account, and Mary Papers Green going off on Team USA. Should Draymond Green be the guy we're talking about when it comes to trades? I hate talking about a main man like this, but it's the truth.
I mean,
look at Ben Simmons, for example. Philly wants nothing to do with Ben Simmons. My guy Philly Zoo's out here. We're all at the game yesterday. He's like, Wiggins and the 7th pick for Ben Simmons? We'd do that in a heartbeat in Philly.
Of course they would.
They would do that in a heartbeat. So why are we talking about Draymond Green when we see Ben Simmons, who is scared to shoot?
He has diplomatic immunity, Bonte.
Oh, man.
You know that with this fan base, he has diplomatic. No one is even willing to open their eyes a little and even have a thought that Draymond Green might be one of the people that would be on the way out the door. I've been open to it, but others are not.
415, good correction here. Paulie didn't go crazy, start whacking everybody. Thinking about Joe Pesci. What was his name in Goodfellas? Joe Pesci.
I forget what his name was, but he ended up getting whacked. And he
Tommy. Tommy was his name.
And he hit the guy with the pen in the bar, remember?
415, sorry, YouTubers and Twitch, it was Tommy, not Paulie. Paulie was cool. He was calm, cool, collected.
Yeah.
Tommy was whacking everybody. Then he went to the garage, thought he was about to get made, and bow, got whacked.
Yeah, well, you don't see it coming usually, and they don't say anything.
No,
it's just
they
lights
don't.
out. Hence the Tony Soprano ending of the particular show.
By the way, it is a bonanza. It is upon us, and it's all happening right here on 95.7 The Game. A huge week of events with the NBA draft, MLB trade deadline, 49ers training camp, and the start of NBA free agency, all in a 5-day stretch beginning this Thursday. The action starts now as we keep you up to date with all the latest breaking news, notes, and rumors as our Bay Area teams gear up for championship runs. There's never been a better time to be a Bay Area sports fan, so don't miss a second of the Bay Nanza right here on 95.7 The Game, brought to you by Pacific Catch, sustainable seafood, West Coast style. Damn, I didn't realize we only had 3 minutes left.
All right, so look, go to the YouTube. All right, everybody, open up your phone. It takes 2 seconds. You can listen to us on the radio traditionally, 95.7 The Game, FM. You can go on the Odyssey app, obviously, 95.7 The Game. You can watch us on Twitch, 95.7 The Game. You can now watch us on YouTube. Take 2 seconds, open the app, zoom it out, boom, search 95.7 The Game, click subscribe. We need a couple more subscribers. I am going to be opening a brand new PlayStation 5. The unveiling will be on YouTube today. How many subscribers do we have right now, Curly?
Joe, coming across the news desk here, we are at 602.
Oh, my God. We're 400 short. Come on,
398
people.
to be exact. And Shane Whitney, first comment I see there. Bonte, you're trash. I'll tell you, great comment on YouTube. So they make comments like that, YouTube, but a lot of great comments.
She's not doing that deal all day, Joe.
It's maybe Shane Whitney. Shane, it's probably a guy. Shane? Is there any girls named Shane?
I know a Shayna.
Is that a unisex name?
I know a couple Shaynas.
Shane, not a Quackley. No, okay. All right.
Yeah, you're all over the map, baby. So Trey Lance is obviously the sweatshirt you're wearing right now, Trey Area. He's a 74 overall rating in Madden. I kind of like that. I get to develop. I'm wondering what his development rating is. You think it's star or superstar?
Star.
You
I
think
would
it
say
starts
star
off
right now. Who was the highest rated rookie of all time in Madden?
Oh, of all time? It's got to be like Andrew Luck or Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah, coming in at like
maybe
80.
Saquon.
So what is Trevor Lawrence? You don't have it up right now, Trevor Lawrence?
No, I don't know.
74 seems low to me as a rating.
No.
It seems a little low.
I mean, Kirk Cousins was like a 77 last year.
Kirk Cousins stinks.
Yeah, I know, but
it's Kirk Cousins.
The starter in the NFL.
I mean, you got a guy who could run, he could pass, he's big, he's strong.
Are we watching the same guy?
I'm not talking about Kirk Cousins. I'm talking about Trey Lance.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
Trey Lance can do all that.
He can run.
Kyle Pitts is the highest rated at 81 overall.
That's good.
Trevor Lawrence at 78.
Okay.
Jalen Waddle 76. Pat Surtain 76. I can go down the list, and then Trey Lance is right there with Justin Fields at 74.
Do we have Trey Sermon on there?
Trey Sermon not in the top 10.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Trey Sermon, Harry B. You know him on Twitter. He was
what's
at the
Mac
game
Jones?
with us. Yeah, go find Mac Jones real quick. Find
51.
Mac Jones. Harry B. yesterday 21st Amendment. It's all the fellas are out there at the game. He goes, Trey Sermon's probably going to lead the Niners in carries.
Oh, I've been on that boat. Come on, dude. And there's no doubt about it.
No Raheem Mostert?
Well, Raheem Mostert I'm going to use as a specialist. I mean, he's a playmaker. I want to keep him fresh for the playoffs. He's a home run hitter.
Man, it is good to be back.
I've drafted
on the roast.
Trey Sermon, though, in my fantasy. By the way, fantasy league's coming back around. You ready?
Come on, man. I was in a Final Four last year.
28th. Set the date, 5 o'clock.
It's already 95-7 a game, draft?
No. Forget 95. I'm talking about my friends.
Who cares
Big
about that
money
league? Who cares
Della,
about that league?
I'm coming for you.
Who cares about that league? Hey, baby,
Tell
it is
Della
good.
he's a donation.
It is good to be back on the roast. Everybody on Twitch, YouTube, subscribe right now. Whitey Gleason, it's Whitey, Dibbs, and JD in today to kick off the Baynanza. Whitey is all in on the Warriors trading for Bradley Beal, plus USA Basketball loses and the Giants avoid a disaster. Former video coordinator Mo DeKill will join the show at noon. Have a good day, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.
Switching your car insurance to Geico is both easy and could save you hundreds. It's the best of both worlds. Like a corgi who does household chores.